Yep. Ready.
Good to go, guys.
All right. So,
Huh?
not much has happened since we last left our adventurers. Shadik, what was it that you were trying to find out in the tower again?
Find out in the
Or in the
tower.
library? My bad. Library.
I went there to research if there was any kind of. Obviously, I know this, but Shady doesn't know if there's any kind of spell that forces you to tell the truth. So he was researching to see if there is a such spell that forces you to tell the truth, and if there is, I want to go find a scroll for it.
Okay. I believe we talked about this off game, but or offline. But you searched in the library and you didn't find anything. Hey Brandon, push to talk, my man.
Is it that loud?
Yeah.
How about now?
So you go to the library, you really don't find anything, and back and forth you've gone to a couple other places to find your research, and you end up back at Leopold's, and you acquire the exact scroll that you want. You acquire a scroll of Zone of Truth.
Perfect. I'm holding on to that.
So, you go back to head to find more research on Legion, something else that you wanted to do, but unfortunately that came up inconclusive. You were unable to find anything about them inside the library.
Okay.
So, at the end of this second day of research, you start heading back to your tavern, your inn, hoping to find your other companions. Where one said he was going on a hunting trip, and the other said he had business to take care of. As you walk down the street and head back to the business, the screen flips. Now we see Zorlin in the Thieves Guild, talking to the standard bartender / innkeeper that runs the underground part of the Thieves Guild. You ask and inquire about the whereabouts of Solom Greaves, the handler, as you are now seeking your leave. He points over in a direction, and you see 3 figures. You see Solom Greaves, you see the innkeeper from upstairs, and you see Lucky. What do, fellas?
Well, hello, Lucky.
Hello.
When did you become a part of this whole shindig?
Am I? I don't know if I'm really a part of this shindig. Well, maybe I am. I'm not really sure. I just got here today.
Well, for you to be down here, you're a part of this shindig. So, how did you come across this?
Word of mouth? Recommendations? I'm kind of looking to get a few things, and they just kind of pointed me in this direction. That and I told them I knew you.
Of course. Well, Greaves, he's good. He can do the job.
Zolam speaks up. He goes, Zorlin. As promised. And he holds out a little bag in front of you.
I reach.
He
I
drops
reach
in
my
your
hand
hand.
out.
It's a pretty weighty bag of coins, and we appreciate the information that you have provided us to the guild, and just know that the supplies you have requested are stocked and sent back to your ship, as Falcon has seen the delivery himself. And I
Very
hope
well.
to see you again soon. And
Of course, I come back every now and then.
Zolam, he says, since you're already accompanied with this Lucky, show him around if you would. I have other business to attend to. And then he bows towards you, Lucky, and turns and takes his leave.
I will bow back.
Of course. So, Zolan's just gonna take Lucky throughout, and he's gonna talk to Lucky, be like, "So I'm not coming with you, right? I'm not joining the Merchants Guild or Mercenaries Guild with you. You know this, correct?"
No.
I'm not going to be. I can't be tied down like that. It's just not in my way. I like to sail my ship when I want to sail my ship, not have someone tell me when I can and cannot sail my ship, and for what.
So where you headed?
I don't know yet, but if y'all ever need me, you can always find me. You can always send a message out, and if you ever need passage across the waters again, I would gladly to take you.
No. Is there a particular way to send you a message or somewhere to send it to that we might be able to get a hold of you?
Yeah, what's his name? Darius. Just go talk to Darius. Darius will be able to contact me.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long we'll be here,
if you're
but maybe we'll run into you again.
I mean, I hope so. I hope that I can see Shadek and all that before I take my leave.
Well, when are you leaving?
As soon as possible. As soon as I see Shadek and tell him goodbye. As soon as I show you around here, and I'm going to be leaving as soon as I possibly can. You know, the adventures of a pirate, and I'm on a conquest for a bigger ship, more crew.
Well, I will wish you the best of luck, and
And
who
you as
knows?
well.
Maybe we'll
And
run into each other again.
hopefully. And this guild is quite a it's quite good. It'll bring you what you want when you want it.
Here, I want you to have
You-
this, and I'm going to give him my silver flask that I've been holding on to that has liquor in it that I have never drank from.
Well, thank you.
I actually
And
got that
so
the same night that we met.
Yeah. It's very pretty. I'm going to pull out of my pouch a necklace with a shark's tooth on it and hand it to him. Here, Lucky, you have this.
Thank
I
you,
made it
Zoran.
myself.
And I'll go ahead and put it on.
So, this one dragonborn and a human stand up from a nearby table, and they approach, and the dragonborn speaks out, and he says, "Captain, do we take leave?"
We do. We'll
We
take
will-
leave at daybreak.
We will amass the crew and meet you on the deck. And they take their leave. So Lucky, it
Well,
seems like he already has a new crew. Already.
And one member of that crew was Macho Man Randy Savage.
thing is, I didn't even know I had a new crew until just now.
Hey,
I
man.
never even got to finish getting my water vehicle proficiency as a quartermaster. Tisk to tisk. Yeah.
Don't worry, Lucky. If we ever meet again, I'll continue to teach you how to sail.
Sounds good, man. And I will
And
hold my
Zoran's
hand out to
like-
shake.
He shakes his hand, spits on the ground, tips his hat, and walks off.
I thought we weren't supposed to. No, Cap.
It's a lucky thing.
There
Why
goes
not?
the worst or possibly best privateer I've ever met. I don't really know if he's even a privateer. I just don't know.
And Zoran's gonna go off and find Shadek.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you go upstairs and he's up there.
Well, are you, Shadek?
Yeah, I'm wherever I was at the,
Yeah.
the last
Yeah,
session.
he's up there. It looks like he's found a cozy, being nosy in a cozy table in the corner of the room. He's sitting at a table. He's got a couple library books with him, and right by the fireplace. It's real nice. It does look like he has a plate of food that you could almost tell that it's been sitting there for a minute while he's been
Shadek.
doing his research.
Are you gonna eat? Who's going to wait?
I will. Just I'm a little preoccupied at the moment.
Well, take your nose out of a book and talk with me for a minute.
I close it and, of course, friend.
Oh, did you use a bookmark?
Yes.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
yes.
Intelligence. No, I'm just joking.
Well,
How can I help
have
you?
to inform you that I am leaving.
Okay.
I do not think the Mercenaries Guild is going to be something I can join.
I see.
Sorry about
I'd like to be able to sail my ship and go off on my own when I feel like it, not be tied to anything.
I suppose I should have predicted this. I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Of course.
If-
Again, if
if-
y'all ever need me for passage, just go talk to Darius. You can contact me.
If that is the case, and you'd be making your leave, I actually have something that I would like to give to you. Something that of my own invention. I could always just build another one, so I'm not that worried about it. And I pull the water purifier out of my bag and say, I imagine keeping yourself hydrated on long voyages becomes quite the ordeal. Well,
It does.
I would like to give you this. This purifies any water that you put into it. Essentially, what that means is that you could pour seawater into this and have fresh drinking water only moments later.
Well, thank you.
So let me ask you, Gavin, is the instruction manual written in Draconic, Common, Dwarvish? How did
Common.
you write that up? Oh, okay.
I didn't actually write an instruction manual, to be honest with you. I'm just going to tell him how to use it. You pour water in this hole here, and it comes out of a spick on the other end that you capture water in, and the water will be drinkable. That's all I'm going to tell him.
So I'm just going to kind of jot it down a little bit and go, got it. And for you, he pulls out a necklace with a shark tooth on it. Very finely crafted. I made it myself.
This is very nice of you, Zorlin.
Of course. Well, I have to. Yes.
One small favor I might ask. Could I possibly have just some, if you can spare any, some of the black powder off of your ship? Just a little,
Hold on.
just
Hold on.
whatever you can spare.
Zorlan's going to pull out a couple powder horns out of his bag of holding and hand them to him. Here.
Thank you very much. How many was
Two
that?
powder horns.
That was two
Two.
powder horns? Alright, where's the powder horn in my inventory?
That's all I have. But take care of it. And don't use it all at one place. But I must leave. I got to go pick up my swords and sail off. My crew's already awaiting me.
I understand. Safe travels to you, Zorlin.
You
Hey,
as well. sir.
real quick, Brando. I'm looking at your inventory list. You do have 2 powder horns, but you also have a keg of powder. It's a 5-pound keg of powder. Did you want to give him that too? In your bag of holding?
You know what? I'll give him the 5-pound keg of powder instead of the 2 horns.
Okay.
Alright, could you
'Cause-
drag that in my inventory, Tony?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
And then Zorlan's going to go pick up his swords, and go to his ship.
And I'm giving him the water purifier.
All right. Oh, no, it's 20 pounds. Never mind. Yeah, there you go. 20-pound keg.
Well, there you go. You should have enough freaking gunpowder to do whatever the fuck you want to do with it.
Oh yeah, I should.
It's still not as... It's not a big keg. Like, it's only about 2.5, 3 feet long. About same. And, about 1.5 feet in diameter. So it's a pretty long, tall keg. for 20 pounds. Doesn't have to be that big. All right, so Zorlin, that's
A
it for you?
keg is equivalent to
Yep.
10 horns, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Zorlin's just gonna head off to his ship unless there's anything else that like Darius overstops him or anybody else stops him on his way to his ship. Because he's not like rushing to his
Okay.
ship, he's just kind of taking his time.
Yeah. All right, I'm actually going to take ownership of Zorlin. So.
Okay.
All right, so Zorlin is out. Lucky, Shadig. What do, my guys?
Well, to be honest, I mean, the whole reason I came down here was I was looking for somebody to teach me about the Poisoner's Kid. So now that I've kind of learned my way around after he showed me the way.
Yeah, Zorlin would have showed him,
Yeah.
the poisoners. He would have showed him the different people.
There is an apothecary down here. And like what do you want to ask him?
Honestly, that was the whole point. I don't know any poisons, period. So learn how to work with them because I'm essentially trying to figure out how to get poison-tipped arrows.
Okay. So you want to learn how to make poison-tipped arrows?
Yes.
All right. So you met Vanter, Sunrunner, right? And he was the one that told you about this place. Told you to go right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
He owns the Unicorn Filters. Well, when you come down here, and after or a while, it takes probably about an hour for Zorlin to give you this tour. And right when he's like, "Oh well, I don't really see anybody that I know of that does poisons," and then Varden comes downstairs, and then Zorlin just snaps his fingers. He's like, "That's your man. Go talk to that guy." Then he pats you on the shoulder and says, "I'm gonna go find Shadik," and leaves. And that's when Zorlin departs from the scene. And so you see Vanter walk up to the bar, and yeah, he's got a little pouch on his side, and he's got a mask that's hanging from his neck like a face mask that he would wear.
Yeah,
So
I'll walk up and go greet him again.
and it's like, you made it, Lucky. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for the directions.
Right across the street. So easiest directions I ever said.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you're down here, and now that I know that you're trustworthy, because they wouldn't have let you just anybody through the door. But how can I help you?
Well, to be honest, I'd like to have my arrows have an extra kick to them. Same thing we talked about upstairs, but I guess here we can talk about it a little more openly.
Correct. Well, arrows are easy. Arrows and blades are all easy to coat with arrow. It's just with arrows, do you know how to stain wood? Like, you ever seen someone stain wood? You know how they put the coat on and the coat just seeps into it,
Mm-hmm.
into the grains? That's how poisoned arrows work. Now, poisoned blades, you need to constantly keep them soaked and moist. Think about like rubbing oil on the blade, and it just sticks to the metal. Now, with arrows, it's a little different. You want them to last a little bit longer, and you want, when it breaks off, you want that to stay inside. So typically what you would need to do is you would need to soak your arrowheads. Depending on the type of poison, depends on how long you need to soak them.
Well, are there any poisons you might recommend that work best with arrows? This is kind of a new territory for me.
Yeah, what is it that you're really in the market for? I mean, I can help you with some sleeping poison or some maybe just stuff that hurts people.
To be honest, I find myself in a variety of situations, so I wouldn't mind having a little bit of a few of the more common things to use. Hurting to put things down, sure, but sleeping could come in handy once in a while.
sleeping is probably the easiest poison to make. And then he hands you a piece of paper. And that you need to of items, or he's like, would you rather pay for the sleeping poison, which I could probably have ready in about a day, or and then he's like, oh, hold on one second, and he ruffles through his bag for a little bit, and he pulls out a couple vials, and as he's pulling out vials, you see probably about 3 or 4 other patrons surrounding this bar all start to slowly move away. 10, 15, 20 feet. Some of them even just get up and leave the room in general. And as he's just pulling out these random vials, and he finds 2 vials of this, it's like a dark green powder. And when you shake the bottle, it like moves around kind of like a snow globe. So it's like a liquid with like this powder at the bottom of it. And when he shakes it, it's like little green sands just floating around in the water. And he slides those 2 vials. He says, that's some sleeping poison that I already have cooked up. It could probably treat about 20 arrows, but 10 arrows each bottle. That'll run you about 150 gold a bottle.
Okay. Is there anything else you might recommend?
I have wyvern poison. He starts looking through the bottles. He's like, I got a bottle of nightshade poison. It's extremely deadly. I do not carry it on me.
Let me say this. All in all, I like the idea of sleeping poison, and especially anything that can hurt something to put it down more quickly. If there's anything else obscure that could come in handy in certain situations, I'd like to know, but if you have that prepared, I'll go ahead and buy it from you now, but I also travel quite a bit, and I don't know when I'd be back here. If there's anywhere I could go just to get started on learning how to do this myself, even just from the beginning of it all. If there's a direction you can point me in, I'd appreciate it.
So, the piece of paper he hands you, the writ, it is instructions on how to make a basic level sleeping potion.
Okay.
So you now know the basic necessities to make a sleeping potion.
Okay.
And so we're gonna do it the same way that we do like just about everything else. When you go to harvest stuff, like forage for stuff in the wild, you just do a basic survival check, and then we'll roll a d4, and you'll accumulate a certain number of points, and you can make that potion. And then the potion will cost you, let's say, 25 gold. Like as if you were making a health potion. You gotta get the supplies and materials, and then
Sounds
you
cool.
can
I get to
do that.
double on my forage rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
alright.
So it'll be easy though. It's just gonna be beginner level sleeping stuff, and
Well,
So
I'll go ahead and buy 1 vial of the sleeping potion from you now. And do you have any other poisons that I might be able to go and put on some arrows? Something that might do some damage?
yeah, I have I do have a bottle of a small little vial of nightshade. Now that's extremely rare, extremely expensive, but if you really want somebody dead, slip a couple drops into their drink.
Well, I don't really need it in someone's drink. I just want to put it on my arrows.
You could coat an arrow with it, and it'll be extremely deadly.
Okay. And how much does that cost?
10,000 gold a vial.
Not quite have that much here. However, I do have a set of sticks for sticks game.
No. I deal in life and death over here, Lucky. It's, but I don't like that type of game.
Well, is there a game that you'd like to play for one?
No.
You're
I'm not
missing
going
out.
to trade you a vial of 10,000 gold's worth of product over a game of sticks and bones. Please, Lucky, don't get it twisted. I'm not a ruffian.
Well, I'm also a man that lives off the land. I don't carry 10,000 gold around with me on a regular basis. Or ever, to be honest, in my entire life.
So he tells you 250 for the 2 vials of sleeping potion, and an extra 50 gold for a regular bottle of poison. And everything else that he has is gonna cost way more than those 3 combined.
Okay. How many arrows does the regular vial of poison cover?
10 arrows.
Okay.
For each vial that you get is 10 arrows.
Okay. And how long would I need to let them soak, or how long's the prep to be able to make that work?
It's gonna be 8 hours.
And it's the same for both?
Yep.
Okay.
Because they're just basic. So you can literally put them in right before you take a long rest, and they'll be good.
Okay. Then I will give him 300 gold.
And he's gonna hand you 2 little small leather sacks, and he's gonna tell you that all you need to do is take a vial, pour the vial into the leather sack, and then stuff 10 arrows, and then tie the top of the sack around the arrows and let them sit overnight, and they will be perfectly poisoned by the morning.
Okay. Thank you very much, Banter. I'll shake his hand. He'll let me shake his hand.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I will think about spitting on the floor, and then just get a real confused look about whether or not I'm supposed to spit on the floor, and then I'll leave.
Okay.
And I guess at that point, I'll go find Shadek.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
doing the exact same thing
upstairs.
I was doing before. At this point, I've actually started kind of nibbling on my food, but I'm having a hard time finding an appetite. So, I notice him walk in. Tony?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, how fares it, Lucky?
Oh man, I have had a day. So, I went out with John. I fought a bunch of snake people. I met some really cool Shadow Panther people. In fact, I have one now. Well, not really, but you know, you'll meet her. And then I came back to town, and apparently I'm in part of the Thieves Guild now. I don't know. I kind of am, but not really. And oh hey man, I just got some poison and everything. It's gonna be really cool to be able to use. Do you want to see it?
Wait, Shadow Panther people?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
As in,
well, I don't know. Maybe she'll come around. I can see. Guinevere? No,
I see.
maybe you'll meet her later.
I'm sure I will. So
Hey,
where do we go
Shadek,
from?
do you know what Panther people eat?
So, real quick, Sean, I just added the sleeping potion and the poison, or sleeping poison, and the poison vial to the box. I'm gonna move those 2 over to your inventory.
Okay.
I would imagine by the sound of it that they subsist primarily on a carnivorous diet. I would assume.
Yeah, I thought so too. I need to ask her. So what are you up to?
I'm just... Honestly, I'm currently reading a book on magic.
Oh, wait.
I had
I'm
a
sorry.
thought.
I just remembered I wasn't supposed to tell a lot of people about there. Anyhow, it's a secret,
Yeah.
okay?
Your secret's safe with me. I simply had a plan for whenever I do go for that trial. If the next year seems unfruitful as far as gathering evidence, that they could simply force the truth out of me. And I'm not afraid of telling the truth. So I've gathered this scroll here that I could provide to basically anybody capable of casting any sort of spell. that could force me to tell the truth. That is what my efforts have been for as of late.
Okay. Hey, Shadek? Well, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
You were framed, right?
It is a misunderstanding.
Okay. But here's my question. You were taken to a place that was supposed to be run by Legion, but wasn't run by Legion.
That was supposed to be ran by South Mina, but
Okay.
it is becoming evident that it was run by Legion instead.
Mm-hmm. And your family is taken by Legion, who was involved in the assassination attempt.
That seems to be the case, yes.
I don't think it's you that needs to tell the truth. I think we need to find someone else. Because even if you tell the truth, then they know you're telling the truth. I don't think it's going to matter depending on who it is we tell. It seems like there's people in charge here that are just lying and no one's going to listen to you.
I think that if they know that I am telling the truth,
But who are you telling the truth to, Shadek?
The
Who do you
king.
know in charge here that has nothing to do with any of this? The king that didn't die in the assassination attempt?
correct.
Doesn't that seem a little odd that there was an assassination attempt, but he didn't get attacked?
I mean, you heard them when they told their story. The king defended, or did everything he could to defend himself against Legion. In fact, he killed several of them. I believe that serves as evidence enough.
With his bare hands.
Sorry, what's that?
With his bare hands.
Oh, right. But Shadek, didn't they also send farmers down into the sewers, regular peasant folk, so that they could just get killed as they were escorting them out? It seems like these are people that didn't have problems having sacrifices along the way. So how do you make yourself look like you're squeaky clean in the situation when you also fought to defend yourself and killed the assassins? You kill a few assassins and then you have your own alibi.
Though I'm not one who takes killing lightly, I will admit that the thought of meeting a few of these in combat is tempting. However, currently my concern is for my family. And
I understand, Shadek, but I think you can come up with a better plan than this. I don't think you telling the truth is going to have as much effect as what you're hoping. I think we need to go get more information about what's going on and who is actually holding your family and why they're involved in all this as much as they are.
to me that seems to be a separate problem. First, I must prove my innocence. And if I am forced to tell the truth, and my answers are satisfactory, that would prove my innocence. But yes, we do need to figure out how to save my family.
When
We need to
is
figure
this
out where they are.
trial? I thought they said we had some time for it, didn't we?
Hey,
We have a
guys.
year.
Pardon me for like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Y'all can
Okay.
keep going.
Okay.
I'll just be right back. Real quick.
Right. So
I'll
if you have a year, why not just think about the trial later, and we can look into this, trying to find out who's behind the assassination and everything else. To be honest, Shadek, if we can figure that all out, that'll probably help clear your name, because they might be the same people that are involved with everything that they blamed you for.
I'm not planning on sitting and doing nothing for this year. This is simply a backup plan. Or further evidence to add on to any other evidence we may find.
Okay.
Would my testimony not carry more weight if they know, without a doubt, that I am telling the truth upon their questioning?
Sure, Shadek, but what I'm saying is, if you tell the truth to the right people, I don't know who's going to be in charge of questioning you. These are people with power and influence. They had an assassination on a king. there's gonna be people involved in here with some means of corruption. I'm saying if you cast a spell and have it on you and you go and tell the truth, you might put it on deaf ears. You might put it on people that don't even care that you were innocent to begin with.
I was led to believe that the king would be present at my trial.
I don't know if the king is someone you can trust.
I believe that he is. However, of course I would like to spend this year finding more evidence.
Well, where do you think we can start?
What reason do you have for joining the Silver Shield?
I want to travel. I want to see the world, and this seems like the way a lot of people do that.
I believe this Darius Silver is resourceful. And I think by becoming allies with him, by strengthening our bonds with him, such information may present itself. Or, if not that, then at least a clear direction of where to go.
Well, I don't know how much we can trust Darius. Darius seems to be involved in a number of things, but I don't know if it's good or bad, or really just Darius being Darius. You know, he used to be in a group called the Silver Band.
Yes, I remember him mentioning this. He used to be an adventurer himself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if that's what you want to do, Shadek, I'll follow your lead. I don't know how to handle these situations. In fact, I really don't understand what's going on, but it just sort of seems the more we get into the city, the more people lie. And I don't know why you want to trust anyone here when it just seems there's a lot of liars here.
I think for my other plan with this Zone of Truth spell, that first we need to make sure that all who would be present are trustworthy and reputable. Which means we have some information we need to find out.
Okay. That's all I got to say, man.
All right. So, y'all head to bed that night, wake up early and fresh the next morning.
Yeah, I got the shit beat out of me. I'm definitely ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I completely forgot, but Shadek, Lucky looks fucking horrible. Like, down to 1 HP almost horrible.
Lucky, before you leave, would you... I am a physician. Would you like me to tend to some of your wounds?
Okay.
He's just been sitting at this table talking to you the whole time, just bleeding out all over the place.
All cut and scratched up, half a whisker missing.
Yeah, so I'd like to think that the next thing that would ensue would be like Lucky just like yelling like "ow" as I put like alcohol and stuff like on his wounds and stitch him up and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So y'all wake up bright and early the next day. Shadek, you wake up in your room at your desk, look over out the window, and over the past couple days, you've reinforced the window with metal bars, knowing that your stay here is going to be extended. You decided to take upon your own blacksmithing trade and weld metal bars onto this window. And y'all go downstairs where breakfast is provided. It is a El Continental. And yeah.
So I'm gonna go grab some Lucky Charms and a muffin and some scrambled eggs if they have it.
Yeah, they do. You get exactly that.
Sweet.
I am going to...
They only have buttermilk. And skim milk. Buttermilk and skim milk. That's it, man.
I must have gotten late to the continental breakfast. I guess I'll go with skim.
Hey, do they have bacon?
Yeah, definitely, dude. There's like a mountain of bacon.
I will take
like a whole 20 pounds.
like a double handful of bacon and put it in my bag of holding.
Yeah, you got it. Put I want to see 2 handfuls of bacon, maple smoked bacon, in your bag of holding. Anything else?
Do they got some nacho cheese sauce to put on my scrambled egg?
Definitely not. That's disgusting.
Oh man, I was thinking it was like Shoney's.
They have American and cheddar, and
What
that's
about
it.
some hot sauce?
Yeah, dude, they got Tapacchio.
Tobacco.
I'm not even there,
and
but I'm just
Do they
saying.
got some pizza for me to put some tobacco on?
No, they have this pizza that it looks like nobody's touching off to the side, and there's like you go to look over to it and you're like, oh, pizza, nice, breakfast pizza. That's what's fucking up. And then you go to reach for a slice, and some dude's sitting there just eyeballing you. He's like, dude, everything for breakfast yesterday, today, and he just glares down at the pizza, then glares back at you, and then shakes his head no.
And then he realizes that nobody wanted the pizza because it has pineapple on it.
Oh, that's pineapple pizza. I'm grabbing like 6 slices.
Nah,
of it.
it's just breakfast food, but what the guy tells you is everything for breakfast yesterday, today, on a pizza. And shakes his head no. Don't do that. Don't do
Every
it.
Pretty
time I
much
hear
all
somebody
the
say something about
leftovers-
pineapple pizza, I'm just gonna call him a drone.
Literally, so pretty much what he's saying is everything that didn't get eaten yesterday for breakfast has been chopped up, diced up, and thrown on this pizza.
Yeah, army style. That's what's up. That's how you do
Nice.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
Zola would have freaking grabbed the pie and was just walked off and be like, fuck it. It's better than
Instead-
freaking seafood.
Instead of marinara, it's gravy. Anyways,
Hey, you know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
moving on.
I'd like to hit the market and grab some wheat, some tomatoes, some cheese, and a
Shut up, Gavin.
pineapple.
So, anyways, moving on. Y'all are going to the Silver Shield, right?
Yes.
I do want to make a quick stop by the Hunters Guild on the way if we can.
Okay, go ahead.
And is Shader coming with me?
Sure, I'll follow him.
Yep,
Okay.
he's there. You're at the Hunters Guild.
All right. Who's at the front counter?
Felicia, the wood elf.
Hey, Felicia.
She turns around and walks out of the room.
Bye, Felicia.
Bob. Damn it, you beat me to it.
And then the Fearbog comes around the corner.
Oh shit, what was his name? I have it written down.
Pumat Soul.
Hey, Mr. Fearbog.
Hello. How
Hey.
can I help you today?
Honestly, I wanted to see if John mounted the trophy.
He like looks around the room. There's nothing new, and he shakes his head no.
Okay.
It,
Well,
it takes a couple days for it to set and
Okay.
embalm and everything. And
If it's okay,
He-
I'd like to scribble some notes in my hunter's notes.
yeah, you go ahead and do that. And I'll tell you about taxidermy. See, what a lot of people don't know is that you actually gotta cut out the eyes and pull out the eyes, and then you just replace them with glass marbles.
Let me
People
tell you
don't know
about D&D. There's magic here, so I don't know how fast this shit actually works in Magic World.
Yeah, but magic is easy. Like you just snap your fingers and boom, it's there. But then that you're not working with your hands though. That's the point of our guild is we are a hands-on kind of people.
Fair enough. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
the book's at the end of the counter.
okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and start scribbling some notes about the hunting trip.
About just your trip.
Well, it's everything that we learned about the creatures and everything there that we hunted, so that
The
people can look at.
Yanti
Yep.
specifically? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a d20. Survival check, actually. What's up, Shitty?
Are these the people that I said my name was Harry Boner to?
No.
Okay. Well, all I was saying is that you actually kind of sounded a little bit like Pumat there.
19. Good, nice. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me write that down real quick. Tap 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 tap. Yeah, got it logged in.
Tap to tap tap. Well, that's on the tapes. All right.
Yeah.
Well, give John my best.
I don't have that Word document up yet, so I'll just check the tapes later.
Okay. Oh, retro. Well, I don't know, retroactively or whatever.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I would have gone ahead and put all the arrows in the vials and got those tips last night.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay.
Just make sure you. So 20 sleeping arrow. Would you have done all of them? You only had 2 leather pouches.
No, I would have done one of the sleeping arrows and then one of the poison.
Okay, so you would have 10 sleeping arrows and 10 poison arrows. Do
Yes.
not get them mixed up. And then I would say first thing in the morning, you would just open up those pouches and clean them out. Clean out the gooey residue that's in there.
Sounds good. All right.
And you can see that the arrow tips for the sleeping poison have this glittery green slime to it, almost. And the ones for the actual poison are just like the metal has been tinted purple, and there is about 3 inches of the shaft is tinted purple of those arrows.
Cool.
All right, so to the silver shield now.
That's all I need to do.
All right, so you walk down and y'all find directions fairly easy. You see
FYI, I'm about
flyers.
6 minutes from the house.
Sweet.
Okay. So there's a building that looks it doesn't really look like it belongs here. Looks like a lot like the marbled buildings and white stone buildings that you saw up in the northern district, but you're in the lower district. And this is a massive building. Like the inn that you stay at is 3 stories tall. This one is 4 stories tall. It's even bigger than the bank that y'all went to, or the Merchants Guild that you went to a couple days ago. It has these 2 large oaken doors with this. Do y'all remember the symbol that I sent y'all on Tony's campaign log? I think it's in Lost Lore, maybe, or no, it's not there. It's in Tony's campaign. It's a picture of a shield with 2 dragons on the sides facing the middle.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
You know what I can do is I'll just upload it. I think it's in my DM file. But anyway, so you see this large shield branded in the middle of the 2 doors. So when you, like, if you were to open one door, then it would be split. And the door on the left is cracked open, and it's a tall door. It's like a 15-foot tall door. So you are able to go in and out. It has these large wooden pillars going across the front of it. So what do? And above the door there is like not a banister, but it's engraved, and it says "Home of the Shield."
All right. Yeah, I give it a couple knocks and walk in.
Well, I mean, it's open.
Okay, well, I walk in.
All right. As you walk in, you walk into a large, like, it looks like the inn that you were just in to an extent. There's wooden pillars going down the side, and behind the wooden pillars are booths. In the very center is rows and rows of tables. There is a inn, not an inn, I mean a bar in the very back wall. There's a staircase on the left and the right that both leads upstairs. And then there's another staircase on the outside of those 2 that lead downstairs. This place is filled with probably about 20-30 people. And you see 2 people behind the bar, and behind the bar is filled with notes and papers hung up on the wall.
Okay.
As you enter and you just observe this scene, you see one familiar figure stand up with a mug, and it's of Anders, and he just cheers, "Aho there! Shadic, Lucky! Come join me."
Hey,
Good
Anders.
to see you, Andis.
And he's like, next across the seat from him is Darius Silver, and there is You see Leo there as well, the one that sold you the Zone of Truth scroll. He's there as well. And then there is another older white male figure sitting there, a couple seats down. He's a little bit spaced apart. He's not big and bulky. He's kind of thinly, with the little scraggly patches of hair on his face, and just all gray hair. So these four sitting at this table, and Anders calls y'all over.
I go and I sit down.
Okay.
And how have you been, Anders? Are you well?
Yes, I've had an interesting trip. I thought it would have taken a fortnight or two, but I was able to get my hands on a teleportation scroll. Actually, two of them, one for the go and one for the return. And I was able to make it fairly quick. Shadik Sviska, on the other hand, has not returned. It was only supposed to take him an hour to do his mission, but he hasn't returned yet. He's only been gone 2 days. Give him 3 weeks, and then we start to worry. And then you hear the other three at the table, just cheer and tap their mugs together. And
So, does this not worry you yet? Because I would be willing to take part in an expedition to locate him, if it worried you enough.
no, if Sviska didn't want you to find him, you wouldn't find him. And after 3 weeks, we'll just assume that he's dead.
Oof. Y'all don't seem to take care of your own very well here.
We do, but it's Sviska. He leaves for no. Typically, we'll see him one night. He'll be all walking around here, all gloom-like and all melancholy, and he'll walk over to the board, pull a piece of paper, and then he's gone for a month and a half. Then he comes back and he'll hang out for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months, and just when he gets bored, he goes on missions.
I understand. However, if it does become a matter of concern, do not hesitate to ask me for assistance.
Darius speaks up and he says, "My good friends, don't worry about Sviska. Play him from your mind. And please, let me introduce this. This is Leopold. Leo, this is Shadik and Lucky." And
Is Leopold the person I've met before?
Yeah, he's the one that sold you the scrolls.
I'm acquainted with Leopold.
And then Darius points at the other figure and he says, "This is the Quartermaster Luke. Y'all may call him Luke or Quartermaster Luke, whichever." And the old figure just gives y'all a nod and continues drinking from his mug.
So, tell me, Darius, what are some of the accommodations that we may find during our stay here and whenever we may find ourselves residing here?
Well, accommodations would be room and board. You have to pay for your ale. You don't have to pay for the food. That comes out of your fee that you would have, like your dues. We do have discounted prices. Like if you were a member of the guild, you get a whole whopping 45% off all of Leopold's shops. And Leopold goes, 25. Thank you. And then Darius just goes, "Oh, yes, 25. My bad." But we do have contracts with other merchants around town and stuff like that. But of course, as y'all being new joiners, you would have to have a mentor, and normally we operate in teams of 3 or 4, so I take it Zorlin will not be joining us?
Zolan's place is elsewhere.
Right, I figured that. But okay. So yeah, we'll just place you on another team. Like I said, normally 3 to 4 people. And Anders here will actually be your handler.
Splendid.
So y'all are already acquainted, so as you might have guessed, I am the guild master here. I am not the commander, but I am the guildmaster.
So, what are the chances that we may embark on an adventure with you at some point? I would very much like to see your skills for myself. I've heard they are quite legendary.
Slim to none. I will be honest. Slim to none.
Ah, well, that is a shame. But I'm sure that it's simply because you have much greater responsibilities that would prevent you from doing so. Am I correct in my assumption?
Yes, unfortunately, there's a lot of politics that happen around here that I must be a present for.
So, who would Lucky and I likely be accompanying as part of this squad that you speak of?
Well, I really don't know. That's for Anders. And Anders just tells you, well, Shadek, he looks around for a second and he's not here. But I will introduce you before the end of the day. His name is Valis.
I see. And are there any other notable members that I should become acquainted with?
Yes, go to that bar over there where the message board is and make your introductions to the two behind the bar. And you see that there is a younger looking man with his head shaved. He has like blue stripes running down the sides of his face, like tattoos, and he has no facial hair. And there is a little halfling female. She has blonde hair, little white stripes to signify a older age. And the male with the bald head is wearing like these yellow kind of. He looks kind of like a Shanghai monk kind of feel to it. And
Is he human?
yeah,
Okay.
and the halfling woman is wearing just these plain white robes.
I see. I will do as such. In fact,
And
I will do so now, unless you have further matters to discuss.
No, actually, real quick, and he takes out two little scroll cases and he hands them to you. Hand these to them. These are recommendations for you two.
I understand. Lucky, is there anything that you would like to speak about before we depart and make our farewell?
No, I don't think so.
Brando, are you here? Ryan? Ryan,
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
here.
there?
I just say Ryan.
Sorry,
We,
I was just getting home.
Oh, you're good, man.
because we used to do that all the time when we played with Ryan. We'd be like, Ryan. Anyways.
Oh yeah.
So
Bueller.
right as y'all start to
Bueller.
step away, Anders stands up and he goes, "Oh, wait! Before y'all leave, hold on, just 1 second. Valis, come here!" And he waves Valis over, and then he turns to y'all and he's like, "Now, he's a little quirky, but he's good people." Now,
I can barely hear you, dude. Let me. I got your volume all the way up too.
Hold on.
Okay.
Now, I will tell y'all before Anders gets over here, real quick. He's a
Can
little
y'all hear me
quirky.
now?
Oh,
But,
Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah.
You're good.
So Anders tells you real quick as Valis is walking over, and he says, "He's a little quirky. Give him time, and y'all will enjoy being on the squad together. We three will be on the squad together. As I've been his on and off again mentor for several months now, but he's good people, I promise." So,
okay.
Brando, what does Valis look like?
So, Valos comes over. He draws back his hood. You see a very, very pale dark elf. extremely white, like pale ass white hair, braided in several sections. He is wearing. He has a cloak on that is a black and purple like mix. Like it's just this like swirling mix of black and purple with a dark color of scale mail on. Tall, lengthy, and on his back sits a large double-bladed scimitar on his back.
Let me just add, this double-bladed scimitar is not. It does not look anything like the one that you bought Zorlin the other day, Shadek. This one looks jagged and rigid and just nasty. Like, if you were to get hit with it on the backside of it, it looks like it would hurt a lot. Almost like it has a serrated and jagged edge on the backside of it, rather than just being slick
Okay.
and smooth.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Valence. My name is Shadek Ironhide.
It's Valus.
That's what I said. But Valis.
Lucky, this is Valus. Valus, this is Lucky.
Hey there, nice to meet you. Name's Lucky Cloud.
Nice to meet you.
Now, Valus, they will be on a team with us as we need more members. And if you wouldn't mind, take them over to the main hall table and introduce them to Donnie and Lydia, please. And they've already received scrolls to join the guild, so all they need to do is present the scrolls, read and agree to the agreements, and they will be full-fledged members. If you could do that for us, please.
Of course. Would we trust them? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay.
And as I said before, this is an open room with several pillars going down the sides of it, and booths on the sides. And the center has tables and long tables and stuff. At the very end is a large, like, bulletin board behind looks like a bar area. And behind the bar area is a male and a female behind them. And you would know both of these fairly well. There's Donnie, the weapons master, and then there's Lydia. And she's like the doctor person that patches people up, and Donnie's just a weapons master, but it looks like they're on staff duty today. So they're behind the counter.
I take him thither. Lydia, Donnie. These are our new members.
And you see Donnie spins around real quick and puts one fist in his palm in the other hand and gives you a bow, and he says, "Ah, good day to the both of you."
Good day.
And
I
then
was supposed to present this to you, and I hand him the scroll.
there's two scrolls, two little scroll cases. He takes them both and he opens them up and he says, "Ah, okay. Huh." And he slides them over to Lydia. So, and then she just waves at y'all. "May the guiding light bless y'all's day." And she's like, I got this, Danny. I'll start working on this." And he just nods in appreciation. He turns back to y'all. "So, y'all are joining the Shield?"
That is correct. Yes.
So, let me put this out there first. To join the Shield, you have to give up all holds in your life. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to give up all your family and friends and everything, but if you cannot join the Shield, if you are bound to another.
I hold no ties with any other guilds.
Lucky?
However,
You?
I have responsibilities to my clan, but
Oh,
I'm free to travel as I
family,
need.
right?
Yeah.
From what I've studied in my temple, is that Tabaxis their families are clans, correct? Or no?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh. Well, I mean, that would fall underneath family, and you do have obligations to your family, yes, and we fully understand that. We do not ask that you would give up your family ties. Just you can't be bound or chained by other guilds, members, associations, or anything like that.
would Lucky's connection with the Hunters Guild be an issue?
Oh, no. We have several members of the Hunters Guild. The Hunters Guild is more of a membership status. based line guild rather than an actual full-fledged guild like we are. Several of our members actually belong to John's guild. Just it's a very easy way to get knowledge on potential hunts, bounties, and stuff like that.
Then I do not foresee any issues.
We even have a copy of his latest members book over here on the side, and then he waves to a book that's over on the side, and you see it looks like the same book that's at the Hunters Guild, and you actually see a quill starting to write in this book on its own right now.
Now let's talk about, because of course, I hate to bring it to a matter of this, but let's talk about salary. What can we expect to make?
10% of any gold that you make off of your bounties, jobs, or whatever that you pull from the board go back to the guild. Anything other than that, you keep.
Splendid.
And that's really how that works. Now, you pay for your alcohol here. If you do not make a certain quota a month, then you'll have to pay that out of pocket. Or we also accept, we also have our own traders. So if you have magical items or stuff like that, you can sell them to us at a discounted price to help pay your membership fees if you're running behind.
It's
Or-
not that bad for. He says quotas. It's not that bad.
I-
You can probably get your quota out of 1 or 2 adventures. At least I have.
That's
Just-
true.
Out of curiosity, the one thing I really didn't like about being a soldier here or anything was having to be here on a regular basis. I don't have ties anywhere else, but at the same time, I'd like to be able to pack up and go, or at least travel a bit. Do you?
Oh, that's definitely plausible, my man. So
I'll be right back.
let's say you want to go to Middleton, and then he just points behind a board and he just looks over the papers. Let me see. Route to Middleton, route to Middleton, route to Middleton. Here. And he pulls a piece of paper off the board and he puts it down in front of you. And he's like, look, caravan needing escort to Middleton. If you wanted to go somewhere, we always have a job in that region. So you could just, like, what's the harm in picking a job in a region that you're going to already? Like, this one's just a simple caravan ride. You might be able to ride on the caravan, so you get a free ride. And you get paid to do it? I mean, some of this stuff is too easy. I mean, this one's only 25 gold, but still, it would cost you 25 gold just to
Is
rent a
there
carriage to go out
requirement
there.
of how many missions we have to do in a month, or?
No. There's no requirement for how many missions you have to do. There's just a requirement for gold. It's 50 gold a month.
So I assume if we can pay that off of 1 or 2 adventures, we usually get paid pretty well for each of these contracts that we accept.
Yes. Yeah. So the contracts pay us. They pay us half up front. So, and he points at another one that says 1,000 gold for this one, and he says, so they've already paid us 500 gold to put this bulletin here, and on completion they'll give us the other 500 gold. Now, when you finish this mission, you'll get 900 gold.
And then our quota will have more than been exceeded.
Yes.
Sounds quite reasonable.
Yeah, the quota is just here to pay for any, like, your food, room, and board is already paid for.
And also
so-
to make sure we're not reaping the benefits while sitting on our asses.
Correct. Unlike some other people. And then he kind of looks around the room. He's like, there's a lot of people around here that they just pay the minimum due. And they never do any jobs. But, I am so sorry. And he, like, puts his fist in his hand again and does another bow. And as he's in mid-bow, he keeps his head down. He's like, my name is Donnie Yondel. I am the weapons master here at the Silver Shield. So, if there's any type of weapons training or anything that you need, I'm your guy. I am the weapons master.
I see. For those of us who are skilled, with those of us who have trades that we perform, such as blacksmithing or masonry of the such, do you provide accommodations where we could craft?
Oh, most definitely. We do have crafting areas and stations. All of our rooms is on the third and fourth floor. We do have stuff going on downstairs, and we do have back rooms back behind us.
I'm a bit of a tinkerer myself, so
The
there's a
second
forge.
floor, half of the second floor is unfortunately unaccessible to anyone of the gold tier or down for the ranks. That's only for platinum and higher.
And the highest rank is silver, correct?
No, it's mithril.
Ah, I see. But silver is above platinum.
No, platinum's above silver.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, the ranking structure from top down is Guildmaster, Mithril, Platinum, Silver, Gold, Steel, Copper. And the writs that y'all brought us today was an entrance straight into Gold, which is kind of rare, but not unseen. If I remember, Valis, you yourself got a Steel membership when you joined.
Quick
Oh,
question
we can't
to
hear.
you.
Yeah.
I know you said there was a discount at Leopold's shop, but do you make or sell any items here yourself? I know that you have weapons training, but do you sell arrows or just standard supplies?
Unfortunately, so we sell mundane items to a certain extent, just stuff like arrows. Maybe you can get some throwing knives, something like that, to resupply your supplies. Maybe some rations. Anything other than that, like let's say your longsword breaks and you need a new one. I mean, I don't carry a longsword, but if I did and it broke, I would just probably end up using my fists, or my knees, or my elbows, or my feet, or even my head. But still, anyways, you get the idea. You can get all that basic items here replenished. Now we do have a contract with with an armorer in town, so we don't sell the armor. That's a big deal around here. Now for magic items, you'll have to go through Leo. The guild prohibits guild member selling of magic items. You can sell to other guild members, just don't talk about selling to other guild members. Really, it's one of those don't ask, don't tell kind of things.
I was really just looking for just the basics.
Yeah, no, we have basic necessities.
I'd like to.
Although, like I said, if you order from us, we actually just buy them from our locals. We like to support mom and pop shops around here, you know.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, if you ever have a chance to go over to the Exalted Arms, you'll find Fulmar Boulder Hill. We get all of our armor from there, and we have you can just show them your shield emblems, which we'll get for you here in a minute. And then there's a couple other places you can go if you go find yourself needing of tools or supplies or just general goods. If you ever find yourself in Joran Ironfield's Bazaar, it's called the Adventurers Bazaar. That's another place you can go.
Good to know.
Well-
Normally though, the bazaar, we'll just put in writs and he'll just send us stuff by the caravan. So if you need stuff, we can just have it for you within an hour.
Okay. Well,
I need everything that I can cast the freaking find familiars.
You have it.
Okay.
I was just hoping to
You already have
buy some armor if I got a chance. I
Yeah.
recently had an adventure that I had a bit more close calls than I would like. So if I could find some better armor.
Definitely try to go over and go see Fulmar. He's a pretty cool guy.
I'll do that. Thank you.
No problem. So Lydia comes back and she has these two little boxes and a couple sheets of paper for the both of you, and it's just a general contract over this stuff about You know, like making sure you don't have ties or past stuff. And Gavin, are you okay over there? Fuck, man.
Why wouldn't I be good?
I don't know. You're just breathing like super heavy.
I'm playing with my cat,
Oh my god.
but I'm
that was me.
listening.
Stop playing with your pussy and play D&D, damn it.
Whoa.
You know, we
He
all
came up and
knew
attacked
that
my
was coming,
arm.
yet nobody opted to do it but Brandon.
Anyways, so Lydia comes over with a couple sheets of paper. It's just a general contract stuff for y'all. And then there's these two little wooden cases. And she opens them up, and they are the same symbol as what's on the door outside, but these are gold plated. And she tells you, do not lose these, and keep them on you at all times.
I understand.
Now, she does not hand them over, and she hands both of you a quill.
Does she hand us ink?
No.
Sign here, initial here, sign here, pledge your life away, and initial here.
Yeah, she does not hand you ink.
I sign. Does it right?
Yeah, you feel a a painful sting in your finger, and as you start to sign, you sign. It looks like to be red ink or red blood.
I take 1 piercing damage.
You don't take any piercing damage.
But yeah, I sign it.
All right.
That's quite an odd ritualistic way to sign them.
It's let's just say it's for your benefit rather than the guild's benefit. Like if you ever go missing, think of it as like a security measure where we'll always be able to find you. To a certain extent, of course. Like nobody's, and she shows you a bullet point in the contract that says like the guild will never use this in its own gains, and this type of measure will never be used against you in any kind of way.
It's a rather smart idea.
Yeah, it like if you go on a mission and you just disappear. It also, if somebody wanted to like talk to you, they could just find this information and just send you a message, and they would have a direct link to your DNA from here. So
I see.
Kind of creepy.
if you want to think about it that way.
Well, sign my name in blood. So that way
No,
y'all can
not
hunt
you.
me down like
You've
you-
already done it.
Yeah, like I said, I signed my name in blood, so in case y'all could hunt me down like an animal.
No, we
It's-
won't hunt you down like
So
an
it could be
animal.
magically located if one of us were to go missing. I understand, and honestly, it brings me some measure of comfort.
New blood. I know. I've been here. I know.
Yeah, you've been here a couple years.
I know we're going. New blood. No deal.
So if you go and look in the campaign Tony's, I actually found the picture and I uploaded it. That's
Yeah,
the
I see it.
symbol. But y'all's is actually gold plated. So y'all's looks gold. And they just say make sure you wear it on some type of outer clothing or something like that, and like a belt buckle. Some people decide they want to wear it as like a belt buckle or something, and you can go to like some kind of jeweler crafter and have it designed the way that you want. But yeah, that's just your sigil.
Or affixed to a weapon, perhaps.
I wouldn't do that.
Ah.
So
So
Danny
Glass
once
is
again
gonna reach
just
in his shirt and pull out this chain with it on it. That's how I carry mine. Just in case I don't need it.
So once, are y'all gonna pin it to yourself in some kind of way? It does have like a little pin in the back and like a little loop on the back that looks
Why
like
do
you could put a
most
chain
other people
through.
here wear them?
A lot of people wear them as like a almost like a fuck. What do you call those things? that, like the clasp on a cloak that holds the two ends together. I forget what those things are actually called. I want to say corset, but I know it's not a corset.
And it's not a corset.
Not a corset. What are those things?
A brassiere.
I don't know. But
I pin it to the inside of my duster.
yeah.
So that way it's not always visible, but I can always just pull back a corner of my duster and show it if I need to.
Yeah, a lot of people wear it like on their cloak as like a it like pins the two ends of their cloak together. And that's how you see a lot of people. You actually see it as Anders wears it as a belt buckle on his, and Darius does not have. You have not seen one on him.
I pin it to the inside of my cloak so I can conceal it if I need to.
All right,
Or inside of my duster, I mean.
Lucky.
I'll pin it to the same way most other people have it, just attached onto the cloak.
With the dark clean wool cloak that you got, dark green, not dark clean.
I actually have a different cloak now. I have a cloak that changes color. I have the cloak of many fashions.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I forgot about that. Cloak of many fashions. Oh yeah, that's right. And Shady got a nitpicker.
Yeah, I
forgot
did.
about that. I'll have to read that to Brandon later. He'll have to swing by there. But yeah. So that's where we're actually gonna end this little subsection.
Okay.
So that's where our little camera's gonna pan out with them just pinning on their our two newly joined members of the Silver Shield have just written their name in the books with their blood and pinned the crest of the shield onto them as newly ranked gold members on the team of Valis, Duskrune, and with the mentor Anders. And the camera pans out. And now the camera pans back into the same chamber with slightly less members. And actually, we're gonna back up time quite a ways for this next part. Right in a small little hodunk town in the middle of a tavern, we see two figures sitting at a table. One looking to be some form of elf or high elf, or maybe even a wood elf. The other one to be a small gnome sitting adjacent from him. And then we see another hulking figure sitting at the bar just downing mugs and mugs of ale. Then, out of nowhere, bandits come in and try to rob the place. The hulking figure stands up and declares the unjust in the land and smashes the two of the bandits' heads together as the elven figure leaps across the table with these blades that appear from nowhere and slices through another bandit. Small little blue balls float in the air around the wizard or around the gnome and slices through another two targets. A couple more bandits come in and they see the massacre that has happened within seconds of these bandits entering into the building, and they turn and flee. The barkeeper, stunned in horror at the gruesome sight that he has just beheld, and he flees from his own inn. Now we are left with these three figures standing in the inn.
Hey, Tony, could I have used telekinesis on one
No.
of those dudes as
What
they tried
dude?
to run?
What do, guys? What do? Do not mess up my narrative, Gavin. Thank you.
Pathetic, all of them.
Okay. Well,
So
that was a thing.
y'all look over, and this large figure, still holding the two heads and dragging these two bodies with these two smashed heads, approaches you.
Uh, goddamn bandits. Fuck.
One way to handle
What
the
do
situation.
you want? I would like to go back to my drinks.
Well, it's not like he wanted anything.
Yes, we killed some bandits. What of it?
Listen here, you little fucking twerp. You don't have to have such a big attitude. I could have told him I had nothing to do with anything and had them try to kill y'all. But instead I helped.
They would have been welcome to try. Pathetic insects, the lot of them.
He's gonna walk back behind the bar, grab the keg of ale,
Yeah. With ease.
And just-
It is a large keg. And you pick it up with ease.
and he's just gonna drink straight from the keg.
Alright.
Anybody else want anything?
By the way, as I drink, I'm not actually touching the mug. I'm somebody who kind of abuses his abilities, so I'm not even. It's too much for me to lift up the mug. I'm just using move to just with my mind to drink from it.
So,
He's
as
gonna
they're-
pull out a rock and hit the mug.
as these two are drinking, Swade, you see a little scroll roll across the floor from out of the pockets of one of the two caved-in skull bandits. Just roll across the floor.
Mage hand, go pick it up and bring it to me.
Okay. Now the mage hand can't unravel a scroll.
Well, I'm saying it picks it
But,
up and brings
yeah.
it. To me. Yeah.
It brought it to you.
Actually, it can because I have the gloves, so it can do like small finesse things, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I completely forgot. Thank you.
I'm
So-
gonna use Mystic Charm on the innkeeper. He needs to
He's
make
gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. He ran. It's just the three of you in this building. And 5 dead bodies.
I will unravel the scroll and take a look at it.
So the scroll has a same. Now it's the same picture as the silver shield that the other heroes saw, and this one says "New Beginnings?" question mark. And then it says, "How would you like a fresh start? Glory? Question mark. Gold? Question mark. Fame and fortune? Question mark. What if we could offer you an unknown person to become a hero of your own story? Or maybe revenge. Maybe you just want to start a new life, new beginnings with a new name, new career. Maybe you like the showbiz. We have it all. Battle, glory, all of it. Join the Silver Shield today to start anew."
Well,
Hey Zane,
I wish.
you want to take a look at this?
Yes, Wade. Yes, absolutely. I look it over and I say, there is much power in a name. I wish not to give that up. However, this is quite tempting. Hey, Brandon, what's your character's name?
You don't know.
I would know at this point. I would
no,
think.
No, you would
This
not.
would be the first time that y'all would meet.
What does your dude look like?
A very fucking tall, large, fully armored, freaking Goliath.
Yeah, you would know a Goliath race when you see one.
Okay. Hey,
So I
large
come up to
fellow.
this dude's like ankle.
About his knee, maybe.
Hey,
He's-
large fellow. Would you like to take a look
Mm.
at this?
What?
I pass it over to him.
Battle.
Glory.
Glory. Not
Gold.
so much. Gold. Eh. Righteousness? Anywhere? Righteousness. That is battle.
I would like to cast message to Zane.
I can speak telepathically automatically anyway. But yeah,
well,
go for it.
I can't.
True.
Hey, it might come in handy to have some muscle around. If this guy's interested in doing this thing, why don't we have him come along with us for a bit?
I suppose he has proved himself. By the way, I'm totally carrying the whole light British accent thing with Zane fucking forever. Just letting you know.
So,
Hey,
at
big
the
man!
very bottom of the scroll, it reads, "You may find us in Tarsus."
Yeah, if you want to do that, man, you want to do voices? How about this?
Hey, big man, down
Yeah, see, I would say that's a good idea, except I can't understand a fucking word you say.
here.
You said, "Hey, big man, over here."
If you want, man, we could do the opposite, make it just ironic.
Hey, big man, down here.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
What are you? Oh, yes.
Hey!
Ah, fuck.
Well, you seem to handle yourself pretty well. Hey there, my name's Swede,
Yes.
and I will hold my hand out for him to shake from like 5 feet below him.
He's gonna kind of take you up in one hand and give you a finger to shake.
Hold on, let me see if I can do a pull-up on this. And I cannot do a pull-up on this.
I want you to roll for it, actually.
Alright.
With, what's your strength?
8.
Yeah, I want you to do an athletics check
Okay.
with your -1. Yeah, man. Pull-ups are really fucking hard. You get like halfway there, and then you fall.
Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Luck point! No.
Yeah, dude. So when you fall, you actually land on your ass, and it hurts. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Actually, well, according to Gavin's rules, you fall 578 feet per second, so that's about 70 seconds. No, I'm just joking. All right.
My
yeah.
rule is much more lenient than Raw.
Yeah. So you definitely aren't able to do a pull-up.
My name is Exodus.
Tell me, large one, what is your
You
name?
can call me.
He just
You can
told
call
us.
me Exodus.
Exodus.
Oh, it's Exodus. I'm sorry, dude. I put a K in there. I will
Exodus,
fix that.
do you believe that power is everything?
Power is nothing.
How wrong you are. Now,
No, see, because power gets to your head, which corrupts you and makes you think less and act on just sheer will. Sometimes using your head is a lot better than just going in and saying that you have all the power in the world.
You are dark.
Dark?
Anyhow.
No. Live
there
the
is
law-
nothing
law of
more
life.
to determine someone's wealth that is more valuable than power. However,
So you say.
So the camera pans out, and this conversation that, fuck, there's so many characters in the top left-hand corner. This conversation between Zane and Exodus has gone on, and we see them walking, holding the same conversation in the morning time, walking
I
across
was
desert sands, through the grassy plains, through a forest, down a dirt road, and this same conversation has continued to go on between power and will and intelligence.
I was going somewhere with that.
Well, yeah, you still
Would you
can, but y'all
like-
are still walking.
Would you like to go put that strength to the test?
Of course I can know this.
I think
Alright,
I've already
anyways.
proven my strength.
By the time this end of this conversation happens, y'all are in front of the Silver Shield in Tarsus.
So I assume his answer was yes.
And he won. Anyways, so we're moving on. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, y'all never got to that part. So y'all are now in front of the large wooden doors.
I think
Were they
Gavin's just
large?
chomping at the bit to do combat with this new character.
He will. We'll just have to speed ahead.
Alright.
So there's, the same thing. Silver shield on the giant fucking doors. They're like 12 feet tall. One of them's already opened on one side. Blah blah blah. You go in, pillars on the sides, large open room, tables, chairs, fill about 20 people. Well, no, it's about nighttime, so there's like maybe 6 or 7 people out. So, what do as y'all enter in? Little torch lights roaming around.
I open the door.
All right. You see a bald figure. Same thing. It's Donnie. He's behind the counter. It's just him, and he waves, and then he does his bow, and he says, "Hail and well met, friends."
Yes, we saw your flyer.
Ah, right this way. Come closer. Let us speak. And he gives y'all the same spew about you can't have ties and all this other stuff and everything. And
I tell
Oh.
him ties are for the weak.
By the way, the
Now-
Goliath is 8 foot tall.
yeah,
Just
and so you stand 2 feet taller than Donnie. He's a pretty tall human. He's 6 feet. And then so y'all sign the papers and receive these shields.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the shields that y'all receive are they're not gold. The ones that y'all three receive are actually steel color. They're not copper. They're steel. And when y'all sign the paper in y'all's blood, he takes up the papers and he turns around and puts them in like this little cabinet behind him. And then he's like, if you would just please wait one moment. Y'all be assigned a mentor in the morning. Let me just see which of the other staff members can escort you to into your rooms. And he goes and rings a bell on the side of the counter. And you see a figure with come around the corner. He's a halfling, bald head, with a pointy like a chin beard, and it's just pointed down to about a foot lower, and it's all great like salt and peppery. And he is just floating in these black robes surrounding him, floating, drifting underneath him, and his hands are tucked into the robe. And then he just looks and he goes, "Yes, Donnie, how can I help you?" And Donnie just tells him the situation. He goes, "I see." And he floats around the counter to you and he says, "Present your names. I am Archmage Cade, or you may call me Master Cade. One of the two only. Names."
My name is Zane Caloran.
And he nods.
Hey, I'm Swade Wingback.
He nods.
I put my hand on my across my chest, bow.
Very well. Follow me. And he turns and drifts away. And from where he's floating, y'all have seen a half elf, or not half elf, halfling before. From where he's floating, when he speaks to y'all, it's like he drifts up a little bit higher or lower to meet y'all's heights. Except for Swade. He doesn't go that low. And he turns and drifts away, and he starts going up a staircase. And he shows y'all to 3 rooms that are all adjacent to each other. And then he turns back and he says, "Would any of you 3 like to bunk together? I can make the arrangement now. But once this is set, it is a remote place."
I used to
Wait.
study with Zane.
Yeah, I was about to suggest as such. Swade, would you like to share a room?
Sure. It's not like I take up that much space
I'm a-
anyway.
I'm a pretty big fella. I'm gonna have my own
Yes,
space.
unfortunately, Exodus, I will place you in a double person's room adjacent to theirs, so you will have the comfort of applying 2 beds together.
Thank you.
No problem. And then he waves his hands, and 2 doors to y'all's right open.
I
Or he
walk in
waves
with
one
nonchalantly.
hand. All right. So, the next morning comes, And
Real quick, actually, before we go into the rune, I want to use I'm going to use read moods,
okay,
and I want a one-word summary of Exodus's current emotional state.
Do I make a save on that?
Nope.
yeah, it's a one-word summary. It's kind of like detect thoughts. It's not something that you save. It's just whatever is up front right now.
None.
It says I learn a one-word summary of the current emotional state of up to 6 creatures I can see, such as happy, confused, afraid, violent, etc.
None. He really doesn't. He's just no emotion. None.
That tells me something too. Okay.
So you could say numb.
It's not more of numbness. It's just he doesn't have an emotion. Like he's not really pissed. He's not happy. He's not angry. He's just not numb. He doesn't like. It's not like he doesn't feel anything. It's just none.
Hmm.
At that current moment, it's none.
Okay. It makes sense to me. It's kind of going with the flow kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next day, y'all go and meet up downstairs, and y'all are provided breakfast, and then y'all are met again by a different staff member. This little halfling female in white robes approaches y'all, and she says she's holding, like, it looks like a clipboard, and she says, "Suede Wingback."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zane Coloran.
Calaran.
That's what I said. Thank you. Exodus.
Hmm.
Y'all are to report downstairs to meet with your mentor after breakfast. That's all I have. Oh, my name's Lydia. Have a nice day. And she turns and walks away.
Exodus is just gonna start. Is just gonna walk downstairs.
I mean, you just got a full plate of food. You gonna take the plate with you?
Yep. Plate and everything. Just walk down the steps.
Okay.
Eating as he goes.
All right. And Zane and Sweat, I take it y'all eat yours food? Or...
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
steady
but
eating my
but I remain standing. I don't sit in chairs.
Okay. It's fucking weird. All right. So y'all end up eating your food, and you go down the stairs, and you go down, and as soon as y'all enter downstairs, there's a guy, an older figure. He doesn't really have a shirt on. Just a real scrawny older dude, and he just
Can I
third
have a
door on the
conversation
right.
with Suede on the way down?
Yeah, if you want to.
I say to Suede, so, my friend, you know how I am capable of, detecting auras from individuals.
Mm-hmm.
That Exodus, I did a quick scan before he walked into his room. I detected no emotions whatsoever. That is the first time that has ever been the case. Usually I detect some sort of small degree of emotion. However, from this one, I detected nothing. He had no emotion whatsoever, and that is something I have never seen. Be
Huh.
wary of that one.
I think that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Think of it this way.
By the way, out of
Okay.
game, he's an oath breaker for a reason.
It's all right.
Yeah, you know what, I lost my train of thought. Okay.
You said look at it this way, is what you were starting to say.
Look at it this way. If he doesn't have any emotion, then he probably doesn't have any poor motivations. He's not angry, he's not trying to be mad at anyone and trying to seek revenge. If he's not feeling angst, he doesn't have anything that is holding him back there. And to be honest, if maybe he's just living in the moment, which means he doesn't really have any sour motivations that we'd have to worry about.
I shall study him more closely. That is for sure.
So, I'm sorry. Were y'all finished?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So the guy at the counter. When y'all finally get downstairs, he just continue down the hallway. Third door on the right.
Thank you. As Exodus just walks to the third door on the right, opens it, and walks inside.
Okay. So y'all follow Exodus, and inside there is 3 chairs, and in front of the chairs is a long table with 3 bracelets placed in front of each chair. And then you see Cade, Archmage Cade, floating in front of the table. And then he motions to the chairs and he says, "Please, students, sit."
Exodus again puts his hand over his chest, bows. Understood. And he sits down.
Okay.
I do the same.
Yeah, I'll follow suit.
Now, I will be your mentor. As I told you last night, my name is Archmage Cade, or Master Cade. You will address me. When you address me, you will end your sentence or structured form of wording with my title, then name. If you wish to have me as your mentor, please place the bracelets on your left wrist. If you do not, leave the room now.
Exodus just clamps it on his wrist.
Quick question for you, not to insult your own capabilities. Do we have some measure of choice with who our mentor might be? I would simply like to make sure that I get a mentor who is most suitable to my personal skill set.
You are a finicky little bastard, aren't you?
He looks over his shoulder and he says, "I apologize, Zane. Whom were you speaking with?"
I was personally speaking to you. However, I see nothing wrong with you. I was just
He floats
One is
closer to
wise
the table
to
and
view
he
all
says,
of the options.
"When you speak to me, you will address me by my title, then name. Or you will leave. If I'm to be your mentor, then you must willingly place upon these bracelets onto your left wrist."
I put it on my wrist.
And then he turns towards Swade.
Oh, yep, sorry. Thought I already had. And I'll put it on.
Okay. So, these are the events that follow. This meeting in this room was probably the most pleasant meeting and event that y'all had to do with Cade. For the first 2 weeks, you didn't even see him. And then after that, he started coming up to you, just asking you various questions, and then for another week or so, and then y'all decided he wanted y'all to go on a mission with him. And during this mission, y'all are gonna do some training. And he asks you, what type of training is it that you want? What do you expect to get out of him?
I'd like to learn more spells.
Zane?
I would personally like to possibly focus on my acrobatics. Perhaps learn to become a little more dexterous than I currently am.
Exodus?
I'm a soldier. I do as told. That's how
Yes,
that
but-
works.
So how would you... So you want to get stronger?
In ways.
Okay.
I
So-
enjoy learning my enemy and smiting them with everything I have.
Throughout y'all's travels, y'all arrive at a small farmhouse overlooking a large cliff, or a small farmhouse with a cliff that overlooks the ocean. The cliff drops about 300 feet down, and he tells you this is where you'll be staying for the next 2 months. You will feed yourselves, and you will train with Cade. And So this is where we'll start on day 1. You all wake up, and breakfast is not served at this farmhouse. And Cade comes floating out of his own private room, and you all have your own individual rooms. They're a little cramped and stuffy, but comfortable to say the least. And Cade approaches you. So, who would like to start training first?
I would.
Zane, you will address me by my proper title and name. This is the last time I will tell you.
All right, Tony. What were those again?
Archmage Cade or Master Cade.
Master Cade. That one seems a little eager.
Archmage Cade. Then I personally would like to begin training as soon as possible.
Perfect. And then he waves his hand and the door opens. Let us step outside to the cliff. So as you all three leave, and it's a pretty open field, like it's a big field, and the cliff is probably about 100 feet away. And he starts very easily. He has you all three line up, and he motions one hand up and one hand down, and he creates 2 duplicates of himself, and they split up. So now y'all are all facing 3 Cades. And then each Cade approaches you and splits you off from the other 2. The Cade that tells you, Swade, you wish to master the arcane arts, do you? Then allow me to test you on your durability. And then he floats away and he says, we will take turns flinging spells, and as we accelerate, we will randomly attack each other until the other one is forced to give in. And then the one that floats towards you, Zane, says, you wish to test your own dexterity. You wish to gain more speed and versatility. This, and he cracks a small smile, is something I can do. And the third one floats towards you, Exodus. You are strong, and you are not an idiot, Exodus. This I can tell. What is it that you wish to achieve in your training? Would you like enlightenment, more open-minded, to be more open-minded? Your friend has requested to be more dexterous in this. I will help him in this endeavor. What about you? You seem strong enough.
Knowledge. Because I've learned in my ways that knowledge is power.
Very well. The scene flips. We see Swade and Cade sitting probably about 200 feet away from Zane, and they are just brawling it out, slinging spells back and forth, fireballs going off into the distance, lightning bolts being chucked at each other. We see a barrage of magic missiles, one that Swade almost narrowly blocks with a shield spell, as 6 barrages of magic missile slams into his side against this shield that he was barely able to produce. We see 2 large golems just striking with incredible speed as Zane is just narrowly able to miss. And then we see Exodus sitting off to the side, surrounded by mountains of books, just reading, studying in his own little world, as these 2 other battles seem to have raged on for days at a time. And this goes on for a couple more weeks, until one day where it doesn't, to you, Swade, it looks like Zane is slowing down. He is not moving as fast as he normally does. He takes 2 really hard hits, one to the abdomen, one to the head. He is forced down into the ground, and it looks like he's about to just be slammed by both of these golems' foots and stomped into the dirt. What do you do?
Well, to be honest, do I have my divination stuff? My D20s?
No. Spell-wise, what spell do you cast? Or if you do have anything else. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, you have your divinations. But let me just put it like this. These are not rolls. So using luck or your divination won't work here.
You said it's 2 golems about to smash him?
Yes. They both have a foot lifted up off the ground, and it looks like they're about to smash into Zane while he's on the ground.
Oh, man.
Exodus is going to.
No, not you, Exodus.
No.
You're probably about 400 feet away, just face into your books.
Could I do something?
Nope. This is Swade. Swade's the one that
Okay.
sees this.
Are they both attacking him at the same time?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Now this doesn't have to be one of the spells that you have on your prepared spell list, because
Okay.
I figure you can prepare your spells differently each day. So this could literally be any spell that's on your list. Any
Yeah.
one of them.
I'm trying to see what I would have that could stop an attack on 2 people at the same time. Sorry, I'm living to learn these spells. Like I'm going through the descriptions of it like right as we're
You're
talking.
good. I mean, you don't necessarily need to cast the spell on the creatures. You could cast like some type of spell on Zane.
Right, that's what I was looking at. So I'm gonna cast Enlarge on Zane.
All right. When you turn your head, and like I said, you are in a bout with this Cade, and when you turn your head to Zan, and for the half a second you utter the first phrase of this incantation for this enlarged spell, you are bombarded by 8 magic missiles and flung through the air. Zane, you are standing tall, and you have just the first time since you've started this fight, you have just taken down one of these golems, slicing it clear in half. The second golem looks wide open, and right when you're about to make this second strike, something hits you extremely hard in the side of your rib cage, and you feel a cracking noise as a couple of your ribs have just cracked. All the air is expelled from your lungs, and you are knocked to the ground.
When I get knocked to the ground, I look up and say, "Is that the best you've got?"
And Swade is laying right on top of you. And Exodus, you hear these loud crashing noise. Do you look up from your book? Exodus?
Sorry, I had myself muted because I was vaping. He kind of just keeping one eye in the book and looks at the corner of his eye and goes back to reading.
Okay. Yeah, you would see Swade clearly on top of Zane right now. And then Cade
He just
comes
kind of
floating.
shakes his head and continues reading.
The second golem just melts into the ground, and Cade floats over. And both of you look like you've sustained heavy injuries, and Cade just floats over and looks down at both of you, and he just shakes his head. If you continue to fail, you will not pass any of my final exams within the year. You have 5 more months. And then he waves a hand, and you both are levitated off the ground and back to your feet. And then he says, again. And then you see him duplicate twice. Or he duplicates back into 2 people. And we continue this training session. This goes on in these small manipulations of visions where Swade, you see one thing about to happen, and then it just doesn't. And it just feels complicated. Like, normally, with you being a divination wizard, you can potentially see outcomes of futures and just a millisecond before they happen, but something is just not working here. And Zane, you feel like you can move faster. You just feel, and you know you've moved faster before, but it's just some of your body, like you go to move your leg or pivot in a certain way, and it just doesn't happen as fast as you think it can. Normally, between your brain to your muscles is flawless, but it's just not right. Exodus, you're reading a book, and it is quite enjoyable. You have read tales of dragons flying through the lands, dragon riders, and a lot of other fantasy stuff. And it seems pretty cool. A lot of history you've been reading through. A lot of stuff about politics and stuff like that too. So after several months of this, well, I mean, not months, but several weeks, y'all have probably been with Cade for about 3 months now. And Cade finally tells y'all it's time to head back to the guild, where we will pick up our first mission together. You all three will conduct the mission, and I will just be there to see how it plays out. And you all three head back to the guild, and you spend your first welcomed night at the guild. And seeing y'all approach into the guild hall, there is silence. That people knew
By
that
the way,
Cade
during
had picked
that 3 months, does my friend talk to me at all?
wrong character. So
Oh, yeah,
as
that
y'all
is
are
the
at
wrong
the
character.
guild,
Fuck. Damn it.
when y'all enter into the guild, as soon as the door, like you see Cade just open the door with a wave of his hand. And when y'all enter in, everything, it was loud outside. You could just hear the music and voices and cheering reverberate through the walls and out the door. But when y'all three walk in with Cade, it just falls silent. Everybody stops and just stares. And Cade just drifts past through the hall. What is y'all's
Exodus
I
is
won't
right
make
behind
y'all.
Cade.
I won't make y'all roll for it. I'll just tell y'all. You just hear muffled noise. I can't believe they survived. They survived with Master Cade and didn't even go AWOL. That's insane. Those people must be bloody idiots.
Needless to say, I'm reading the mood as I'm
Oh.
walking through.
Yeah, there is a lot of some people that are surprised, some people that are terrified, angry, some people are just overfilled. There's a lot of different emotions seeing the three of
By the-
you have survived training with Master Cade and not ran off or not losing a limb or something like that.
I
By
look
the way,
in the
Exodus,
direction of
as he
just a
wa-
random person who I got a terrified read from, and I flash a little blade out of my arm as my arm basically turns into a purple blade for a brief second and shoot him a smile and keep walking.
Okay, what were you saying, Exodus?
Exodus is literally just has his nose in a book. Like a Goliath reading a book. Just
Yeah.
walking through.
Sounds pretty funny to me. What about you, Swade?
I'll probably just be, I don't know, playing with my bird. By the way, I have a bird. That's a thing. It's a familiar. So I'll just follow along, just absentmindedly, like feeding my bird.
I'm gonna just antagonistically, as I pass by somebody, is there anybody wearing a hat,
No.
a cloak, anything?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people wearing hats and cloaks, my man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use move and telekinetically just unclasp a cloak and cause it to fall right as I'm passing by.
Okay, yeah, it happens, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? This is like the third time this week. I gotta get a new clasp."
Oh, Zane.
What? I didn't do anything.
Sure you didn't. Roll
That was a
eyes.
super evil move you did there, buddy.
Exodus is
So
just
Hey,
ignoring
sometimes
the
you can
two
be
people
just
behind
be
him.
antagonistic just for the sake of it.
so this is the first night
Exodus
in
is like
months.
keeping an ear out for them, but he's just ignoring.
This is the first time in months that y'all have slept peacefully in your own bed.
Yeah, I don't sleep in beds either,
Oh, well, on the floor for you. And,
and I don't sleep either. I trance. So
well, whatever. Well, this is the first time you've closed your eyes for an extended period of time without feeling pain and sore from just overexertion from the day before. Because it took y'all a couple days to travel back. So, within the next couple days, every day, every morning, and every night, Cade floats into the room, into the main hall, and he looks over the board with all the papers, and then drifts back away. About the third day, he finally is just, aha, found it. And then he grabs a piece of paper and floats over to y'all. And then he places the paper on the table and says, "This is the mission that we will go on today."
Exodus picks it up and starts to read.
It is a courier mission to deliver supplies to a front. It is a forward operating battery that is currently fighting against rogue drow forces to the north or to the west of Middleton in the Frozen Peaks.
Archmage Cade. We're to be simple courier.
Yes, it says here that they need able bodies to assist and escort the couriers themselves, not you. You will not be the couriers. You are the escorts for the couriers. You will escort the supply caravan to the forward operating battery of the 101st of the First Order of the High King himself.
It doesn't seem that hard.
I would much prefer to be in the fray, if at all possible.
Will you
Well-
just chill, you eager little shit?
Well, listen,
Sometimes you have to start small to get big.
that is
Learn
enough,
that,
Exodus.
and you'll grow.
Now, maybe you do not understand the ways of us here on this side of the continent, Thursday. But let me tell you, a forward operating battery is the front line. There is no more forward than the forward operating battery. So, gather your things, we leave in an hour. And he drifts off.
Exodus is gonna go stand outside.
Yeah, my things are already on me.
Alright. So
I
y'all
don't
don't
carry much.
I mean these are y'all's rooms. No one goes into your room. And you would assume that your room is magically locked by your sigil. So only your room can be unlocked when your sigil is close enough. So if you want to keep stuff in your room, by all means.
Hey, it
Like
occurred to me we never
trinkets?
did something.
What?
Me and Sean never described our characters.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So Sean, you want to go first?
No, you can't, man.
All right. So
That's my fault, guys. I
Zane-
apologize.
That's all good. So Zane is a rather flushed-looking elf. He does have, despite the fact that he has somewhat of a tan complexion, he does emit like a slightly cold aura in his immediate vicinity. His hair is pitch white, and he's wearing a simple black tunic, long sleeves, with a long black cloak behind him, as well as just black boots, gray pants. Pretty standard looking. Something he does carry that he keeps visible is a small gold chain around his neck with what looks to be a pendant of a desert rose on this chain.
Suede?
So, Suede is a tiny little gnome. He's only about 3'6" and about 40 pounds. Looks pretty young even for a gnome. Adult, but still definitely on the younger side. Blonde hair, green eyes. He's got, kind of a half-crop beard. Definitely like on the weaker side of beards as far as they go, especially for gnomes and whatnot. He looks a little steampunkish. Nothing too crazy, but he's got some chains and gears and whatnot. Mostly just various things of like, I don't know. You can tell that he's a bit of a tinkerer, so he's got different things that he uses for, all that. Mostly he wears just a cloak that goes all the way around him. It's like a regular cloak, but for him it's like Matrix style cloak because it goes all the way to the floor. But it's whenever he rests, you can kind of see it, like it settles and like covers his entire front half too. You can also see a lot of times I'll have since we've been together for so long, you would have seen it, a little blue jay that comes and goes. It's my little familiar. His name is Gadget. But yeah.
Oh, and I also forgot to mention that Zane appears pretty young as well, either in his late teens or early 20s.
I will say those bracelets that y'all have on, the whole time y'all have had them on, you cannot take them off. So no matter what y'all have tried, they just will not come off. And then-
Exodus hasn't even tried.
Yeah, and I would assume Zane has been a little bit
disruptive in Cage's teachings, right? At one
Yeah, a
point.
little bit. He's probably
So-
earned a reputation for himself as being a little unruly.
So this has happened several times that y'all have seen, where when Zane would get into one of his outbursts, and Cage would just snap his fingers, and then Zane would just crumple to his knees. And this has happened several times, and it's not like something that he would have a saving throw to prevent, because you automatically fail this particular saving throw, since you have the bracelet on. But yeah, anytime you are disruptive or disrespectful and just piss him off, he just snaps his fingers and you become paralyzed. And you experience a vast amount of shocking pain. And then, so y'all head out and meet up with this caravan, and there's 2 other guys and some moderate armor, and they lead y'all out of Tarsus to head northbound. Excuse me. But so y'all head northeast, and then y'all turn straight north and start heading through a forest down a dirt road where you see a small camp outside of this massive cave, and they tell you that this is just the rear artillery or rear battery, and the actual FOB is inside the cave. So y'all continue on with this caravan, and Cade is just sitting on the back of the caravan as y'all continue to go forward through the cave. You finally, after about another several hours traveling through the cave, you meet up with another small group that looks to be about 30 or 40 men in mostly moderate plate mail armor or so. And y'all have arrived at this campsite to drop off these supplies. And y'all stay for the night, so y'all have a night period, and y'all want to stay, right?
Yeah, I'll stay. Hey, real quick, Brandon, just if you could do something for me, could you tell me your hit point total as well as your resistances, immunities, and vulnerability?
What ability does that go for?
That is assess foe. No, yeah, it's assess foe.
Okay, where do I find that?
In my actions underneath Aura Sight.
Aura Sight says that
That's only for
you have
just look
advantage
under
on
like the
wisdom.
letter C, Aura Sight. Assess foe.
It's a bonus action. You can analyze the aura of one creature. You learn its total hit point total, all immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities. Okay, well, you can know his hit point total if you click combat tracker. He's not in the combat tracker. He is now in the combat tracker. He has the same resistances as all of you, basically. Yeah, so I mean, and then no character has any vulnerabilities. So yeah, that's it.
Like resistance to cold or
He's a Goliath paladin.
so
He
yeah,
doesn't have any
resistance
of
to
that.
cold.
I think he's resistant to disease or immune to disease. That's about it. But
Okay.
yeah, anyways, I mean, I don't see why that's a big deal. But anyways, so moving on. So
Zane's gonna try to pick a fight with Exodus here in a minute, and Exodus is gonna whoop his ass.
I'm not gonna try to pick a fight.
So y'all have Cade suggests that y'all leave immediately. Do y'all say anything else?
No, I don't say anything.
Why do we need to leave immediately?
He kind of ponders that for a second. I guess one night here will not hurt.
Hey,
Would you rather stay at the front line for a night? Maybe you might see some action, Swade. Be able to use some of those new abilities or spells that you have learned.
I mean, I wouldn't mind throwing a spell or two around.
Well, I'm sure if you stay on the front line, you will definitely see combat, as they've had nightly raids here.
I am here to do whatever you tell me to do. So you tell me where you want me, and I will be there.
That is not my position. You are your own man, are you not, Exodus?
I am.
So
understand.
then,
I'm used to being.
do your own thing, Exodus. I
I'm
cannot
used to being
grade you
told what
on
to
your
do,
own
but
ethics
do it.
if you do not perform any actions or take any initiative for yourself. And he floats off. He's like, if you need me, I will be in with the commander's tent. And he floats over to the largest tent. And this is a large open chamber, and this specific spot has been particularly made their campground because this is probably about a 100 by 100 cavern, and then at the end it just falls, and then it's about another 200-foot gap, like giant chasm with a narrow bridge stretching between the two. So it's kind of like they've bottlenecked anyone who wants to try, and they stated that they used to have their camp on the other side of the bridge, but that was just a dumb idea because they were getting nightly raids. Well, since they moved over here, they haven't had a nightly raid come in a couple days. One raid of 4 people drow tried to cross the bridge, and they were shot down before they got across it since it's 200 feet long. So,
Just
He's
as
just
a...
gonna kind of.
Sorry, go ahead.
Exodus is just gonna kind of go to the edge of the bridge and just kind of
Yep.
stand there and just kind of watch.
yeah, you see and hear wind. You want to make a perception check?
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna go over there as well, and as I walk up, you see I flick my arms down to my side, and when I do so, you see that each of my hands turns into this long purple energy-like blade that pops out of each hand, and I go into defensive stance as I begin scanning down there to see if I notice anything.
Nice. Yeah, you don't see anything, Exodus. It's just dark in here.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead. Suede, what about you?
Well, 2 things. Since we're in kind of enemy territory here, I just want to say I would have mage armor up,
Yeah, I have
Okay.
kinetic armor.
and I have a blue jay. I would send. I mean, if it's over the edge and everything, I would just send my familiar to go take a look.
Okay, yeah, roll perception with disadvantage for the blue jay.
Okay.
Because you are underground, and it is dark, let me just say that. But
Yeah,
since
that's
y'all are
okay.
over here on this side, I'll say that y'all are still in dim light, or pretty bright light, with all the torches and everything. Blue jay doesn't find anything.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna use perceive the unseen, if you're okay with that.
yeah,
It gives me the ability to see all auras, and I can, until my concentration ends, I can see all creatures, including hidden and invisible ones, regardless of lighting condition.
okay.
So I'll be concentrating on that.
Alright. So, with your perception check, Zane, you don't see anything with your eyes. You don't hear anything other than the wind howling across the chasm. But you do hear a voice in the back of your head that just states, "Tonight, join us." And that's it.
I reach out with my mind with telekinesis to, let's see, or not telepathy, I mean. Let's see what the range is on my telepathy. It's 120 feet. Do I see any creature? Do I see any creature's aura? I guess should be the way I should phrase that. And even if they're hidden, I can see an aura.
Nope.
So,
Okay.
Side note there, Tony. I don't know if we're getting
Yeah.
into things here, but do you want me to go ahead and roll my 2d20s and like go ahead and mark down what spells I would have had prepared for coming into this? Because I
Yeah,
can do that
go
all right
ahead.
quick. Okay. Some people are gonna fail their saving throws.
Nice. Those
Nice.
were some good ones.
All
So
right, and I'll go ahead and
we-
mark the prep spells on the thing. So, all right, you can go ahead.
So we skip ahead to nightfall. You'll stand at this edge for a while and ponder your own thoughts, and nightfall comes. And it's pretty peaceful. But as you were all laying down to take your rest, did Brando DC?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. It says your character got disconnected.
I don't know. I'm still here. It's still up for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you all
Hold on,
hear
I'm gonna
a
try to roll something to make sure it works.
you all hear a loud crashing noise and then almost a
As-
boom.
I rolled the nat 20 and then it fucking dropped.
And then you hear a boom, and then you hear clashing of metal and loud, just sounds of battle coming right outside y'all's tents. What do you do?
I would
I
actually
get up
not be in a tent.
enthusiastically.
We would.
I wouldn't. Yeah,
I would ritual
we would
cast.
both be outside.
No, I ritual. If we're staying for the night, I would have ritual cast Liamon's tiny hut.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
So just
So-
throw that out there.
So it would be hard to see. You would see a bunch of torchlight, and you do see some knights are just jumped out of the shadows by drow. Now there's probably about a dozen drow fighting y'all, or fighting against the soldiers here.
Would I have gotten a rest?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm connecting.
So I still have inertial armor up though.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Time to go to D&D Beyond.
I get up and with a smile, I say, "It's about time I got to have some fun."
Yeah.
And I run outside of my tent with a big grin on my face.
Okay. You can see from where y'all are, you can see that there's about a dozen drow that's currently in combat with several knights around. And over at the bridge, you see one knight defending himself off against 3 drow all at the same time.
I run over to that knight who's defending himself against the 3 drow. I go into a
Okay.
defensive stance upon my approach.
All right. Swade, what do you do?
Yeah, I'll. Are we going in? Are we fighting? Or are we following after Zane?
Okay. Yeah, you see 3 drow. Zane just ran up and jumped into a defensive stance. What are you doing?
I'll jump up and cast Mirror Image.
All right. Is that a action, bonus action?
That
What
is
what
a
that?
action.
Okay. Exodus?
He's gonna stand back and just kind of see if they can handle themselves. If they can't, he'll get in.
Okay. So
He'll
now
be close enough that if he has to hit something, he can hit it. But he's far enough back that he's just gonna observe.
And what kind of weapons or weapon does Exodus brandish?
Actually, I don't know. Hold on, let me.
That's fine.
Because what's on my
So
thing is not what it
He's
is.
gonna run up, but he's also gonna take the defensive stance too, just in case.
Oh, he has a long sword and a shield.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I put great sword, but that's not right. It's a long sword and a shield.
Okay. So
Which
his
means
AC is
he
20.
his AC is 20.
Hey, Tony, can
Yeah.
I do something else as I'm running up?
What?
I'd like to use a 5th level push on one of the drow. They have to make a strength saving throw.
All right. He fails.
Sweet. He takes 5d8 force damage, and he's knocked back 25 feet.
Okay. Yeah. He flies 25 feet down the bridge. All right. So that's one. That's one that's been moved away.
How many drow are there?
There is now 2. One just got pushed back 25 feet. Roll your damage. You there? Gavin.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, I need to roll my damage.
Roll your damage. Nice. That's some hard hits. All right. 25 points of damage.
Okay. How close are we to these guys?
How close did you run up to them?
Probably within 60 feet.
Yeah, then you're within 60 feet.
If
We're
there's-
gonna theater of the mind this, just so
Okay.
y'all know. So if
Okay.
you want to be 45 feet away, just tell me that you're 45 feet away.
Yeah, I'll do 60 feet, and then
Okay.
if I got a chance, then once I get there, I'm gonna cast Hold Person.
Okay. And he needs to make what kind of saving throw?
It'll be level, let's see, at 3rd level, and they need to make Wisdom saving throws. DC
He
is
he rolled a
16.
natural 20.
Okay. Well, he saves, but I cast on both of them.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's
Hold on.
cast at
Let me
level
roll
3.
for the second one. What's the second one rolled a natural 18.
Yeah. Okay. So they both save.
All right.
All right. I mean, are we just like rapid firing turns, or what? How's this working, Tony?
It's gonna go Zane, Swade, Exodus. So you just took your turn, so now it's Exodus's turn. And then after this, the Drow will take their turns.
Here, hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 10 feet away from the drow, by the way.
That's fine. What are you doing?
The paladin's gonna cast command,
Okay.
so that's I believe that's a wisdom saving throw.
All right. That is a 3.
He fails.
Yeah, let me do this. Okay. All right.
Run.
He turns around and he runs. Starts running.
So there's one left, I guess.
Well, he's gonna start running on his turn. Yeah, that leaves one left. So now it's the Drow's turn. The one in the back of the bridge. He's going to stand up and he's going to rush over to Zane and he's gonna try and swipe at you.
Okay. I'd like to use my reaction for psychic backlash. He has disadvantage on the attack. If he hits me, he takes 2d10 psychic damage.
Okay. Just 1 second.
So I gotta get off in like 10 minutes, by the way, because
Yeah,
I gotta go help
that's
blow
fine.
balloons.
Okay. Yeah, so he's going to. So this is. I kind of want to make this quick, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a d20, and if it's above a 10, it hits. If it's below a 10, it misses, because he does have like a +7 modifier, and I don't want to have to burn through all this stuff.
He has disadvantage.
Okay, that's an 18 and that's a 13. So that would still hit. So and then how much damage does he take?
2d10 psychic if he hits.
Okay. So 2d10 psychic. And all right, so roll that. Okay. So now it's the second Drow's turn, and the second Drow's gonna run up and attack. Or he's the guy that's still standing there, and he's gonna make an attack. And when he makes an attack to this guard, he gets a lucky one, and he just cleaves this dude
he
straight
doesn't.
across his chest.
You got an attack roll of a 1.
Oh, Well, so he, instead of him cleaving into this guy, he just misses. Yeah, that's it. He just misses altogether. Third dude, he runs.
I thought I knocked one off a cliff.
No, you just knocked him straight back down the bridge. Not off the bridge, down the bridge.
Ah.
The third one turns around and runs. And now it's back to Zane.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use grasp on him.
Okay.
So he has to make a strength saving throw. As I attempt to lift him up with the power of my mind.
Okay, this is a 15.
That's a 15. I'm gonna raise the DC. I'm gonna give I'm gonna use 3 side points
Alright, guys.
and raise the
I gotta
DC to 17.
log-
Okay. Alright, what's your original DC?
15.
Okay.
So it actually raised it to 18.
Okay.
So I grab him with my mind and lift him up in the air and say, "Not so fast."
The one that's running away?
Yep,
Well, he's about 60 feet away from you. How far is the spell reach?
60 feet.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm going to oh no, it takes me an action to do anything to him after I pick him up. So all I'm doing is just holding him in the air.
Alright. Zane.
Yeah, I'm here.
I mean, Swade.
Okay. Let me.
Wait,
So-
actually, Tony, I was just reading over it. Technically, it says I can only raise the DC when they try to escape.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's just say it worked. So, Swade, what are we doing?
How many of them are left? Or like, I know one ran off. One is being gripped.
The one. Okay, so one's right in front of Zane.
Mhm.
One's still at the knight in front of you, and one is being levitated in the air by Zane that was trying to run away.
How are close to the one that's running away and the one that, is right in front of the knight?
How far away did you say you were from the knight and the drow?
I want to know how close those two are to each other. Originally, I was 60 feet away.
The knight and the drow are your 60 feet away, or however far you said you were.
Yeah.
And then the other one that's levitated is 60 more feet away, so he's 120 feet away in the air. And the one in front of Zane is about 50 feet away from you.
Yeah, you know what? Let's, I'm gonna angle it right so that the one that's right in front of the knight, I'm gonna throw a fireball at it. But angle it so it hits him and not the knight.
Okay, yeah. That's a dexterity save, so that's a +4. So that's 14.
DC is 16, so he takes full
Alright.
damage.
Roll your damage.
Fireball.
Nice. 26. It's a good one. And that was at the one that's
Isn't
fighting
that
the knight, right?
78, not 68?
No, fireball is 5d6.
Fireball is
Oh.
8d6.
8d. Yeah, that's what I said. Fireball is 8d6.
Oh, I rolled the wrong dice for that. Hold on.
yeah.
You did 68 instead
Yeah.
of 86.
Let's try that again. 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, even better.
There we go.
All right. Okay.
That is my
So-
turn.
So, X is gonna turn around and he's gonna give it to the drow that's behind y'all fighting the other knights. So he's gonna turn and pull out his longsword and shield, and he's gonna charge at the other knights behind y'all. And then he'll just say, "Y'all got this, great!" and turn around and run, and start to jump in the fray behind y'all. The one that's being held is going to try and escape. How does that work?
He has to make a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check, and I'm gonna go ahead and raise the
Okay.
DC by 5.
Well, he failed. So let's just say that, because that
Yeah,
was an 11.
I have to announce before he makes the roll if I'm gonna raise
Okay.
the DC or not. So
All right. And does that take his action to do that, right? Yeah. Okay.
I believe it does. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and then the one in front of you is going to take another swipe at you. So that's a
At
natural
me?
1. Yeah. And so
Okay.
that misses. The one in front of the knight is going to take a swipe at the knight. I don't know why I rolled that, but he hits the knight. And the knight is just going to crumple over under the weight of this drow sword. And so the knight has fallen, and the drow turns towards y'all.
Okay.
And then we are back to the top. Zane, it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to use another 5 psi points and cast. Well, not really cast. I'm gonna activate Hone the Blade. I get a +2 bonus to my attack and damage rolls with my soul knife. So
Okay.
it doesn't even say that costs me anything. All it says is it says I can spend the psi points. It doesn't say it costs me anything, like an action or bonus action or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna come at him with a flurry of attacks. So my action, I'm gonna make 2 attacks.
Okay.
2 22s. Does that hit?
Yep. Both of those hit.
Alright, and I'm gonna use my bonus action for the same thing.
Wait, so how is it a +6 for your psychic damage?
Because I did Hone the Blade, it gives me a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls for 10 minutes at the cost of 5 psi points.
Okay. And that takes your bonus action to do that?
See, I'm gonna leave this one as a judgment call for you, because it doesn't list it actually taking me anything.
We'll just say it's a bonus action. That's fine.
It just says I can spend psi points to gain the bonus to attack and damage rolls. It doesn't say it costs me anything.
All right, well then it is what it is. So that's 17 points of psychic damage.
Yeah. Do I still
Okay.
have my bonus?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
No, that doesn't hit.
Okay. All right. And I at that point I didn't use my bonus action, so my defensive stance is now off. So, all right, that's my turn.
Okay, Swade.
I just kind of want to see what this would do. I'm just gonna try Mind Sliver. We'll do that.
All right. And-
He's gonna make an intelligence saving throw.
Which one? The one in front of Swade,
the one
or
that
the
hit
one
with
in
the
the middle of
fireball.
the bridge? Okay. That is fail.
He takes that as damage.
So
Oh wait, no, I'm
that
sorry.
is-
It's 2d6 because I'm at 5th level. So he takes 9 points of damage.
Hey,
9.
does Mind Sliver work for ability checks too, or is it just saving throws?
Let me see. Saving throw.
Ah, okay.
The next time he makes a saving throw, right?
The first time he makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn.
Okay. So, the one that you have up in a bubble, so the one that you have up in a bubble, Gavin,
Yep.
he is going to just basically teleport out of the way, and like he's going to teleport further down the bridge, and he's going to shoot a crossbow bolt at you.
Hey, 1
The
second.
dude that I'm holding with telekinesis.
Yeah,
Was it a
he's going to
spell?
teleport away. Yeah,
Counterspell.
He's 120 feet away from you.
No, before he teleports away. If he
No,
teleported with a
he's the one
spell.
he's the one that's way down at the bridge that's being lifted in the air. That guy is far away from you.
And the range of it is 60 feet. However, it does say he's grappled while he's under the effects of that. Would that have inhibited him anyway?
Grapple doesn't inhibit teleportation.
These motherfuckers can cast spells.
Yeah, they're drow. They have innate spellcasting abilities. But yeah, he's gonna teleport away, and he's gonna shoot a crossbow bolt at you,
Okay.
and that's a 3. So that he misses, as a quarrel just whizzes past your ear.
Okay.
And yeah, you can't see him anymore as he fades into the darkness. And the second one that you hit with the fireball, he also is going to turn and start running down the bridge. And as he turns to run down the bridge, you hear him shout some noises. And when he gets... And he... From about where Zane is standing, you see this
Everyone dies.
small black orb appear in front of at Zane's feet, and then it just bursts into a large, like, it is just pitch black in this area now. You can't see your hand in front of you. You are essentially blind right now. Not Swade. Swade, you just see this large sphere of darkness in front of you.
And everyone dies.
Not yet.
Okay.
The key word, yeah.
I'll just dispel it.
Okay, on your turn.
Oh, sorry, that was never mind.
So that's
What are
Zane,
those rolls
what's your
for?
AC? What's your AC?
My AC right now is 18.
18. Okay, that was a 17 and a 13 to hit. So neither one of those hit. All right, you instinctually you were able to just sidestep, and right as you sidestep, you just hear as a blade just slices right through the air where your head just was, and then you hear foot patter fleeing away from you.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yep, it's back to your turn.
As a bonus action, I activate Perceive the Unseen. I get to see creatures' auras, even if they're invisible or hidden.
Okay, you see nothing.
If
You
there's
are-
anything there,
you
I'd
are
still
in-
be able to
hold on.
see even
Let
in
me-
darkness.
Let me state this. You are in magical darkness. You see nothing.
So, until your concentration ends, I see all creatures, including hidden and invisible ones, regardless of lighting condition.
Right, but you are encased in magical darkness, so you see nothing.
Do I see nothing because there's nothing there? Because...
No, hold up. You're not listening to me. Listen to me. You are encased in magical darkness. You see nothing.
It says regardless of lighting conditions. I get
Yeah,
that dark
this
vision
isn't-
wouldn't apply.
This isn't just natural lighting. This is magical darkness. For this period, you are essentially blind while you were in here.
It does not state that you can see even if it's magical darkness. It just says lighting conditions.
Yeah.
It
Lighting
says I can
condition
see
and
all
magical.
creatures, including hidden and
Doesn't-
invisible.
Yeah.
Gavin, I've read what your thing. I've read what your thing does. It does not state that you can see
Yeah,
through
let me just put it
things
like
in
this.
magical darkness.
What spell level are you casting that at? About? What about spell level are you casting that?
It's not even a spell.
Okay, how do I find it in your actions tab?
It is under Aura Sight, Perceive the Unseen. Like, I could literally see with my eyes closed. I'm
Okay.
not. I see all auras, regardless of lighting condition.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say now that you are encased in magic, so you cannot see. Because this magical spell is affecting your innate abilities.
All right, I step out of it. We'll talk about this after the session.
I'm still gonna judge the same way. Magic will perceive over your innate abilities.
All right, I step out of the darkness.
Which direction are you going? Roll a d8. Okay. You step out of the darkness, and as soon as you are stepping out with your left foot, you can feel the edge of the cliff right there outside of the darkness. And when your head pokes through the dark sphere, you can just see the cavern below you.
Oh, okay.
And you can see part of the bridge. You can't see all the way across the bridge, but you can see part of the bridge.
I don't know.
All right. So you're gonna go around the dark sphere and rejoin with Suede?
Sure.
Okay, Suede, you're up.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna do this. Because I can see in the darkness, right?
No. Dark vision can't pass through the darkness spell.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what it says. I get what your spell says. I get that.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's just do, yeah, I just dispel the magic.
Okay, what level are you casting Dispel Magic at?
Oh my god, this is gonna be that.
It is that, because this is cast at a certain level. Well, what level is Dispel Darkness? That's level 3, right?
Dispel magic
Darkness
level 3.
is level 2.
Dispel Magic, yeah.
Dispel magic level 3.
Oh, okay. So it's cast at level 3? Yeah, it dispels this darkness. It matches the same spell level.
Alright, and then I mean, are these guys just running? They're gone? Can we even see them anymore?
You can barely without making any rolls, I'll say you can barely see one of them running across the bridge, but he's probably about 120 feet away from you.
Okay, well, I'll point him out to Zane. And that's my turn.
All right, now it's the Drow's turn, and they are gone.
Isn't it Exodus this turn?
Exodus turned when you left. I had Exodus turn around and join the fray behind him with the 12 other Drow and the other soldiers. So if you want to run back, you can.
No, he's
But
fine.
there is a downed guard in the middle of the bridge, and it looks like with Exodus's help back behind him, the tides have really turned, and they've just about killed all the Drow behind you.
Yeah, Exodus is gonna keep attacking the draw.
Okay, so he's just gonna stay in the fray back. It's down to like 3 Drow. You've had like 2 or 3 casualties so far, but there's more Drow body counts than there is these knights, especially with the supplies that y'all brought.
Okay, then I am going to. I'm gonna go to the down guard on the bridge.
Okay, well he's pretty far away from you. I'll just say he's about 200 feet away from you.
Is there any down guards around me?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of injured and down. There's like 2 or 3 of them that's dead. You can just walk up and be like, nah, that dude's dead. But there's a couple that's groaning in pain and laying out on the
I'm
floor.
gonna go. I'm gonna go to everyone and just kind of freaking lay on hands.
Yeah, they're gonna get laid.
Yep, they're gonna get laid on hands.
All right. So, yeah, you do that. You pick them back up. How many points do you give each one of them? Like 2 points apiece or something?
Yeah, I just have to get them up and for them to get out of the fray.
What's that? You have 30 points, I believe. 5 times paladin levels, so
Yeah,
30 points.
I have 30.
Okay. So 2 points apiece. Let's say you use it on a couple guys. You use like 15 points or so. You suffer a couple scratches here and there, but it's no big deal to you. Suede, Zane,
So,
what do?
I don't know. Where's everybody else at?
Do I see any auras?
You see the knights and some of the you see, like, when somebody dies, when you see auras, you see some of the drow and some of the knights on the ground where they have a small shimmer to their aura, and then it flickers, and then it vanishes.
Okay.
So you could definitely tell who's dead and who's not.
Well, I mean, do we need to gather information from these people? I'm
Who?
asking whoever's in charge.
Oh no, they're just murdering these drow. They don't even care. If y'all hesitate right now, the other 3 drow will die.
If we wait, don't we want the drow to die?
I mean, that's up to you.
It's not up to. I'm trying to understand what the situation here is, man.
Oh, okay. So these drow have been something that y'all have heard since y'all have gotten here. Maybe I didn't make this clear. This is a rebel band of drow that's been attacking the nearby town. The nearby town is called Thindlebrook, and it's been having resurges of like drow raids and stuff like that. So the High King sent in the First Order to come through, and these guys have just been pushing back and forth, and this is just a nightly raid. They're just trying to kill off as many of these guys as they can because they just hurt people and steal their shit. So they're just out for blood right now.
Yeah,
And these drow just attacked them, so
I'm
I'm
gonna.
gonna grab one.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Okay.
for the one that is. I don't know if there's any kind of anything that shows that they might have a higher rank or be more important out of all of them that are here. That's the one I'm gonna try and
Okay.
save.
Suede, I want you to make a perception check. And Zane, what are you using? Your telekinesis?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one.
Okay, I'm gonna. I really don't want to roll too much for me, but I'm gonna say it works.
Okay.
Luck point. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So you see one, Suede. You can't. They are shouting, but you don't know their language, or do you know Undercommon?
I do not know Undercommon.
So they are shouting, but you do see one that has, just like the one that you shot the fireball at, his pauldrons on his shoulder come up to large, broad spikes, and it does kind of look like he has a cape on, which is completely different compared to all the other drow. None of the other ones have these pauldrons with these capes. And it's not a cape that goes down to their ankles, probably like halfway down to their back, and then it goes to a point below their butt.
Okay.
So-
I'm gonna take the one that seems to be
Now,
more important.
Now, is that are you pointing that one out for Zane to pick up?
I'll just say, hey, Zane, I think I can get some information from this one, and
Then
I'm gonna
that's
go
the one
approach
I
him.
grab.
Okay, and you're just gonna lift them. How far in the air do you lift them?
Let me see on that one. Let's see. I have to use my. So at first they're just grappled, but then
Okay.
I can use my action to move them up to 5 feet per psi point spent. So I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna move them about 10 feet into the air.
Okay.
And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he is
Jedi
just
mind trick.
flailing
I
about.
mean, Mystic Charm. and just tell him, "You want to tell me exactly where your base is?"
For your mystic charm, do they have to understand your language?
Actually, with telekinesis or with telepathy, all they have to do is be able to speak a language or be telepathic themselves.
Okay.
It says I don't need to share a language with the creature.
Okay.
So actually, yeah, I'm gonna speak into his mind. It's a little more intimidating, and I'm gonna use my
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna use my mystic charm,
All right.
aka Jedi mind trick.
And what kind of save does he? He needs to make a charisma save.
Charisma save, or he's charmed
Ooh,
until the
that's a
end of my
2.
next turn. So he's charmed for 12 seconds.
Oh, you know what? He's a drow, so he has advantage on that.
Yeah, that's a 2.
And that's a 1.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, well, so yeah, he's charmed. And
You
he
want to
just
tell me exactly where your base is located, as well as any weaknesses or any strong figures. Make it quick.
I need to know where to find your telepathy. Can it speak back to you in any language?
Let me see. Telepathy.
So it can understand your telepathic message, but I don't think it can speak back to you.
Let me see. He can speak though.
Yeah. So you will hear back in your mind. Dosharek no Dorai. Valnanakun.
Interesting. I say speak Elvish, and I'm gonna use an action to crush.
What does Crush do?
So
don't. Okay, I have no idea what the psychic or the mystic is, so don't just say I'm gonna use this.
all right.
I don't know what
so
it
I can
does.
spend on any creature that's grappled by my telekinesis. I can spend 1 through 7 side points to do a d6 of bludgeoning damage per
Okay.
side point spent. I'm just gonna spend 1 and just make him hurt.
I'm gonna just say to Zane, hey, can you understand him? Because if you can get him to speak
No.
out loud, I can understand him.
Yeah, actually, well, I said speak Elvish, so that would insinuate to he's either gonna speak Elvish and I'm gonna understand him, or he's gonna speak out loud and yeah.
Yeah, and
you kind of when you say speak Elvish, you see an eyebrow raise, and then you hear a Delnor, and then and then yeah, you see him start to being crushed.
Did he say that out loud?
He gasps out loud when he started being crushed.
is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
I cast comprehend language.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
Zane, if you can get him to just answer you out loud, I'll know what he's saying.
Okay. At this point, I probably need to use Mystic Charm again. Because I would imagine it's been 12 seconds by now, right?
and he can break free of the grapple, right?
With a athletics or acrobatics check. But I'm going to go ahead and
Okay.
raise that DC by 5.
Well, that's a 2. I mean, that's a 6. Plus
Okay.
4 for 10, so it still fails.
However, I am running
yeah.
pretty low on side points.
Yeah. So, what you hear is Lologesh, Nodorai. And then it says, you need to run fast.
I speak into. Oh, I didn't understand what he said.
Yeah, no,
I'll
you didn't
relay the
understand.
information.
That's what Swade hears.
Basically, as this guy's saying it, I'm just gonna repeat it out loud in common.
Okay.
I speak into his mind and I say, "We're not the ones who need to worry about our own safety. Now talk." And then I would like to crush him again. Just one
Okay.
side point.
All right, and as you go to
Oh, and that's
crush,
a 6.
as you go to crush him again, he'll let out another yelp of pain, and then he'll teleport.
Oh, never mind.
How far away did he teleport?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Keep in mind, I can see auras right now.
Yeah.
So,
To how far?
to sight doesn't list a range.
Okay. We're gonna need to do some serious editing on this.
It says perceive the unseen. I gain the ability to see auras. So I guess if they would normally be close enough to see me under normal, or for me to be able to see them under normal circumstances, I can see their aura.
Okay. Yeah. Make a perception check for me.
All right. Ooh.
25. So, probably about 70 feet away from you. And
God dang it, he breaks out.
yeah, probably about 70 feet away from you, you see this black shadow streaking back across the bridge. And it's just a shadow on the ground. And it is moving fast.
For me, it's an aura. But, okay.
No, it's a shadow. You just see the shadow.
Yeah, you know what? Let me look at what it said about 70 feet, right?
Yeah. Suede, what are you doing? Make a perception check for me, please.
Can I just move forward and try to grab him again? If he's 70 feet, I have
Yeah,
a movement speed
go
of,
ahead.
of
Try
30.
to.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him. So he needs to make a strength saving throw.
What are you grabbing him with?
Grasp, telekinesis.
Okay, he's a shadow. So,
I can see him because I can see his aura.
well, he's okay. He's in a gaseous form right now. It's like a shadow, like wisps, and a gaseous form. So you can't grab him per se. Like he's not a physical being anymore. For this instance,
Is he immune to the grappled condition?
he is.
Ah, okay.
Wait, so he got to teleport and turn into gas in the same thing?
Yep.
Okay, then at that point,
Oh, you should have killed him.
I'm gonna use telekinetic barrier then.
Okay.
It's a 40-foot long, 10-foot high barrier of telekinetic energy with a range of 60 feet, and I'm gonna place that thing smack dab in front of him.
Okay. So he runs into it, and then he pops back up out of his gaseous form, and then Suede, you hear him say, "Death before a life of slavery," and he jumps off the bridge.
Good riddance.
All right. So the battle behind y'all starts to calm down, and Cade starts to float by, and he yawns and he says, "Huh, it looks like that I have missed the whole party." So what did I miss?
Several drow cowards who would prefer to flee before risk their own demise.
Well, I get their point. I killed myself too before I became a slave.
Well, you didn't hear that. Only Suede heard that. Because Suede has comprehend language going on. Unless, Suede, you told everybody what he said right as he jumped off the bridge.
Yeah, I said I was repeating everything.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool.
I understand.
Cade lifts up a hand to his chin and starts to stroke his long beard. He says, Now, that's a quandary. Drow are born into slavery by their own whims. This is their heritage, their livelihood. Why would they kill themselves to prevent future slavery? These are interesting quandaries.
Once you learn freedom,
And then you'll start hearing.
once you
So y'all are closer to the bridge than all the other knights, and they're kind of picking through their own and trying to help each other up. But you'll start to see the form on the bridge, the knight that was flayed. He starts to groan and moan and move around on the ground.
it's what again?
It was a knight. It is a knight, should I say.
5 points to lay on hands.
And he stands up, and somehow when you use your lay on hands, it works, but it just feels different than normal. And he stands up and he looks at you and he just nods his head and he's like, thank you, big one. And he pats you on the shoulder, and then he takes a step forward, and then he throws up on the floor, and then he just groans.
I pick him up, throw
Okay.
him over my shoulder, and I'll walk back to camp.
He struggles. Let me down. You let him
You'll
down?
be okay. I'll be like, when we get back to camp, I'll let you down. I don't need you falling off this bridge.
It has side rails. They're like 4 feet tall.
Hey, yeah, he still ain't gonna let this thing fall off
Okay.
this bridge. He's just
Yeah.
gonna carry him and.
You bring him back
So
to
he's
the
all-
center of the camp where all of y'all rejoin, and when you set him down, he goes to stand up and he starts to lean on his sword, still holding his sword. And he leans on his sword and he throws up again, and it's like this black goo that he's just puking out. And then he starts to writhe and scream in pain. And he hunches over and falls to his knees. And then Cade tells you 3. Y'all hear his voice in your head, and he says, "Step back. Come to me, students." And then
Before
you
he
just
does
hear,
that, before he steps back, he's gonna go command.
Okay.
And then he's gonna step back and wait for and he's gonna wait to use the command word.
What command word are you using?
Depending on what happens.
Okay. So you just start hearing like these knights circle around this one dude as he is just throwing up this black ichor. And then you start hearing not one scream, but dozens of screams come from this guy, as it is just this cacophony of noise now echoing from this one guy. And on the last time he goes to throw up, you see these 4 tendrils spurt out from his mouth, and it looks like
Run.
pieces of his flesh start to peel off and his skull start to split. You see the bones in his fingers start to protrude through his fingertips and start to elongate as he just bends over and lets out more screams. And Cade, as you 3 step back towards Cade, Zane, he puts his hand on your shoulder, and then he says, "I think it's time for us to leave." As you see a small little orange ball light up in his middle finger, at the tip of his middle finger, and he flicks it to the base of this person. And then he's like, "Take my hand now, students." And he
Oh, by
lowers
the way,
one of
I
his
tell
hands.
I tell him to run as I grab the command word run.
Who are you using that on?
The guy that has tentacles coming out, I cast command on him before anything. I didn't use the word until then.
It doesn't
Until
work.
I saw what happened. Yep,
It-
time to go.
Yeah. Cade's hand.
Oh, I would have put one hand on freaking one of the other guy, on Zed or whatever his name is,
Zane.
Zane.
Zane, and I grab him and say, "Yep, time to go."
I believe this is an accurate assessment. Yeah, let's go. As
And
I
Swade?
start running with him.
I will
No,
follow suit.
he's not. Cade Cade is standing there with his hand out, and he says, "Take my hand, students." And he just flicked this small orb. And when y'all look over y'all shoulder, this was like the size of like a marble when he flicked it. Now it's about the size of a golf ball at this guy's feet. And y'all take Cade's hand?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
So it's all in at one time. You see this orange ball swell up larger and larger, and then you feel this extreme heat, a heat that you've never felt before in your life, just wash over you, and just this heat is so hot, and it just almost feels like it burns your flesh off for half a second, and you squint, all three of you squint your eyes closed, and then you feel cool air. And you open your eyes, and Cade is just standing there, and you were out in a pasture, and then you look around, and you're just in the middle of Thindlebrook. And then a couple seconds pass, and before you, all three of you at the same time, open your mouths to say something. And when you do, you hear a out in the distance. And then you see a large plume of smoke rising from the mountain where y'all just were. And Cade says,
All
"Well,
right.
that was a close one."
Master Cade,
Yes.
what the fuck was that?
Oh, you know what that was. It was in the book that you were reading the day we left. That was an illithid. Come now,
Whoa,
let
whoa,
us
whoa, hold on,
leave.
hold on, hold on. Really?
Let us leave. And then he turns and starts to drift off.
So just at this point, I'm gonna let my psychic focus swap to intellect fortress. I'll explain what that means if it comes up.
Intellect Fortress.
Yep.
I'm looking at it right here in front of me. It says Zane suffers severe migraines and dies of anal failure.
Anal failure.
No. So he's gonna look at. I'm gonna look at the other two and be like, "Yeah, you know that thing that was that was turning into the yeah, we would not have survived that. I promise. I don't care how big you think you are. I'm pretty big, and I wouldn't go near that."
I suppose, Archmage Cade, I do owe you some degree of gratitude.
I think if y'all aren't moving, he is. So he is just drifting off, and it's kind of a funny sight because this guy's only about a foot taller than Suede, is what you could tell, but his coat looks like it's fitted for a grown person, and he is just floating along, and you see just the drag marks at the bottom of his cloak, and then he tells y'all, "We will rest here for the night. I know of a nice inn here in town." And he takes y'all. He approaches an inn, and above it says Theodore's Night Stay. Theodore's apostrophe Night's Stay.
I don't require a room.
Well,
But
we
thank
will
you
still
for
rest.
your offering.
So it is in the middle of the night. Let me put it like that. This is in the middle of the night. So he will, whether you want a room or not, he's staying here for the night. So you can sleep outside. He tells you straight up, if you don't want a room, you can sleep outside in the stables. And he goes inside.
And follow.
Yeah, I'm going to use 5 side points to cast Move on myself and telekinetically lift myself up to the roof.
Okay. So this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Alright.
Well, real quick, Suede. Yeah, I got it
Would
right.
Zane,
Yeah.
would
Suede.
Suede like to go to the roof with me? I don't know if that he's
Or-
a.
Suede, is there anything that you would have liked to said or anything, or?
No, I'm good. Just taking it all in.
Okay. Anything? How does Suede feel about everything that has happened since y'all joined the Silver Shield. The rigorous training. Oh, by the way, right now is the point that you would have your spell.
My spell?
Yeah, the spell I told you that since you're training with the arcane under Master Cade, you have a spell that's always prepared. You would
Gotcha.
have that spell right now. So, how does Suede feel since y'all joined the Shield?
I mean, what do we get out of the months of training?
Training. Y'all, after this mission, y'all will achieve the rank of gold.
Ooh, Tony, is there any chance I gain proficiency in acrobatics from that many months of not trying to not be crushed?
No.
Aw.
And then after this, since y'all become gold tier, y'all have it costs more for people to pay you to do missions. So this was like y'all's 6 months probation period, and now y'all are gold tier. So moving on from doing missions, you can do higher demand missions and bounties and everything like that, and you'll get paid more because you're a higher rank. It costs more to hire higher ranks.
So since our retainers are gold and our mains are gold, that means for not every, but for a lot of missions, it's just going to be pretty much we have a choice of who we want to bring.
Not almost.
I'm not saying for every, but for some.
Yeah, for some.
Okay.
Oh, I got the hiccups. But yeah, so reverting back, like, does Suede feel anything about this, or all the stress and everything? And
I'd say he's still pretty introverted about it. Like, I mean, we were just off and away for a long time. I don't know. He hasn't really been a part of the Silver Shield yet. We went to training, and then we went to this. So we hadn't really actually acclimated into the guild.
well, so after the 6 months, consider that y'all have had 6 months on your own. Like, Cade does not interfere with anything. Your bracelets all come off. It was just like the training situation. And yeah, y'all are able to pick missions on y'all's own, go out on missions on your own, and anytime y'all need like advice or something, you can call Suede, and he also gives y'all 3 sending stones. And he says all you have to do is whisper that every person in the shield has these sending stones, and all you need to do is whisper their name, and you can talk to them. But it's all verbal components, so you actually have to verbally say something. It's not a telepathic thing. So if you ever need anything from Cade, just whisper his name. So y'all get those, and y'all are able to do the average normal thing.
So what all does my guy like knowledge base now? What would he like history and all that? Would he know a lot more than everybody else?
No, I would just say he is pretty well versed. This was his like training period stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, never met a freaking Goliath that wants to read, huh? That went all kinds of different on this one.
Yeah, that's kind of like the exact opposite of the stereotype.
Well,
here's
yeah,
the
I
thing.
mean, his
You know-
Goliath has an intelligence of 12.
Yeah, mine. Yeah, he has an intelligence of 12, and it's not just gonna stay at 12.
Yeah, the only person here that has an intelligence higher than Dwayne.
We could say during these past 6 months, y'all have gone from level 3 to level 6. That's how y'all got to level 6, or level 5, and then the next 6 months is how y'all got to level 6. Let's just put it like that.
I gotcha.
So,
Okay.
and then, yeah, how does Zane feel about Cade and joining the guild and this one particular mission?
He couldn't care less about Cade. That's just somebody he has to deal with because he has to.
Okay.
And this mission, it's just a chance for him to have some fun, make some money. He didn't feel anything when any of those knights died. He didn't care to try to save them, but he knew who the enemy was, and he knew he could get away with attacking. So that's why he went after the drow.
Okay. And what about the Illithid?
So actually, I have a bit of disdain for Illithid, with my whole power set being kind of mind-based, I view them as inferior beings, creatures who think they have some sort of grasp on the elements of the mind, but are rather inferior to those of myself.
So, let me go back to you, Sean.
Mhm.
How does Swade feel about this illithid being? I'll just say that with your studies, you know about the illithid. Like, you know all about them. Do you, Sean, actually know anything about illithids?
A little bit.
Okay, they're pretty horrific
Yeah,
creatures.
they're the mind flayers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mind Flayers is just, it is the material plane's name that has been given to them, but that is not the name they refer to themselves. Illithid is the actual name of their race.
Yeah. I remember Campaign won a crit roll when they went and dealt with the illithid.
Yeah, they're pretty horrific creatures.
I would definitely be curious as to why they're there and what's going on, but again, we don't really seem to know a lot about the situation at hand, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, this is just a job. I don't
Okay.
really know much about it or care much about it beyond that.
And what about Exart?
Exodus, you mean?
He has
Yeah.
Exodus has no feelings to it.
Okay. See, y'all might not think it, but I'm taking some really good notes over here on my index cards, Sean.
They can't be good
Oh
notes.
yeah, index cards.
Fucking love my index cards, bro. They're great.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, like when I'm like
so
Exodus really has a lot of it has to do with his what the backstory I'm writing for him too.
yeah, I got you.
is like the army, the army that he was in, he was a soldier in, pretty much broke. He has no reason for anything. Like he doesn't care if you die. He doesn't care if you live. If you're on his team, he's going to make sure you survive, just because he still has some of the paladin way in him. But other than that,
So,
if you want to go kill yourself, by all means, have fun.
Gavin,
He doesn't care.
this
Yeah.
is my rational thinking. Going back to the darkness spell. Just because you can see invisible creatures and stuff like that, if I was to build a brick wall in front of you, you can't see through the brick wall.
Let me ask you
That's
this.
how I
if
saw it.
somebody was in magical darkness and they had tremor sense, would they be able to see other creatures within the magical?
That is not seeing. Tremor sense is a sense. It's not with sight.
So the thing is about the view aura is I'm not or perceive the unseen. I'm not actually physically seeing them. If I use perceive the unseen, I would not see anything like the environment inside of the dark.
Just
But I
to
would.
interject right quick,
Yeah.
before we get into this, if we're done with the session, I'm just gonna go and kill the stream unless there's anything
Yeah,
else we
yeah.
need to do. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you can continue on.